Hello, welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Key and we are live for the Serie A decider. Napoli against Cagliari is the game we're going to be watching. Of course, at the same time, it's going to be Como and Inter Milan playing at exactly the same time. Both games being broadcast live on TNT right now, but we are going to be watching Napoli against Cagliari, the leaders at the top of Serie A. Napoli looking to win the Scudetto for the second time in recent years. And Scott McTominay, of all people, about to get his hands on some silverware. I wonder, another ex-Man United player done well. But yeah, listen, really looking forward to this one. I think Napoli have got it in the bag at this point. I think they're going to beat Cagliari tonight. And even though I expect Inter to beat Como, I wouldn't rule out some slip-ups and maybe some times in the night where Inter are about to win the title and Napoli maybe leave it late. It really wouldn't surprise me. We've seen a lot of that during the final weeks or months of the Scudetto, where Inter Milan have led for such a long period of time. They've looked like they're going to win it, and then Napoli have sneaked back in. A couple of slip-ups by Inter Milan around about a month ago when they went out to AC Milan in the Coppa Italia, got battered by Milan, got beat by Roma, got beat by Bologna last minute against Bologna. And Inter Milan have just fallen on hard times recently. They have recovered, they have got through to the Champions League final, but they went through that little patch, and it seems like it's just costing them now, because they were on for another historic treble. We've not seen from them since, 2009, was it? The great Jose Mourinho, Samuel Eto'o, Diego Milito Inter Milan side. But no, it's looking like it's going to be Napoli taking the Scudetto, and we're here to watch that tonight. And you're here to watch it with me, hopefully. But first off, look, before we get stuck in, we've got to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Match Bingo. Match Bingo sponsoring every single Premier League Dad Live to the end of the 24-25 season, to the end of May. And if you've never heard of Match Bingo before, I am absolutely certain that you'll love them. They are brilliant. They're growing really quickly. They're a genius new app that combines all the excitement of a bet on the footy. I'm sure you like a bet on the footy the same way I do. If you like a bet on the footy, I'm sure you'll love Match Bingo. It combines all the excitement of that with all the fun and excitement you'd associate with a game of bingo. You set up your account. You can do so via the QR code, which is on screen right now, or you can click the link in my description. Once you've set up your account, you deposit £5, you get £10 free for doing so. You buy your bingo card, and you will get 15 random events that can take place during a game. For example, in this weekend's Premier League games, you may have things like corner to Liverpool, free kick to Crystal Palace, as it may be. And as those things happen during the game, they tick off on your bingo card. You get prizes for a line, prizes for 2 lines, prizes for a full house, same as with bingo. And it's a fantastic way, genius new, innovative way, I think, of approaching betting on the footy. I really enjoy it. I've got my bingo card. Go and get yours, and you'll be supporting Premier League Dad, the channel, and our growth to the new 25-26 season. But yes, thanks very much to Match Bingo. As I say, over £200,000 in prize money already paid out to over 10,000 UK players already. So yeah, growing really quickly, and thanks again to Match Bingo for sponsoring the channel. Meanwhile, let us get stuck in with Napoli and Cagliari, because I believe the team sheets are already out. Let me just go live on the other place. Let's go live on TikTok, and we can see where we're up to. Callum Wirtz to Bayern. Oh, what was that, mate? Honestly, I don't know what is going on. I have absolutely no idea what is going on. It looks like Liverpool have bid £150 million or 150 million euros, and the deal has basically been agreed. I'm led to believe it's insane. I just never ever thought that would be a move that Liverpool would pull off. It doesn't seem like a Liverpool move at all, does it really? But it's astonishing. It's absolutely astonishing, and I'm really looking forward to see what people in the chat and everyone else seems to make of it. For whatever reason, Florian Wirtz has said to Bayern, on your bike, and it's time for Arne Slot to Liverpool. That's where he wants to go. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Timmy, Napoli tonight. Yes, mate. Napoli against Cagliari. That is what we are doing tonight. Big night of Serie A footy, the decider. There is still another round of games, by the way, in the Serie A, by the way. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, what about all the other games that are still on 37 games? because Inter Milan are in the Champions League final on Saturday, they are playing their final fixture a little bit earlier. So they're going to play tonight against Como. Napoli are also going to have to play at the same time because that's how all league title deciders, anything that's got anything riding on it, they have to play at the same time. That was due to a game in the 70s World Cup. And that's been the rule going back about 50 years ago. Going back, I think it was was it the 78 World Cup or the 74 World Cup? Basically, in a World Cup in the 1970s, that didn't happen. It never used to be that teams on the final day all had to play at the same time. And what happened was there was two teams who ended up needing a draw. They were playing each other, and if it finished in a draw or a goalless draw, then them two went through and the other team went out. And basically there was an agreement before kick-off that they just wouldn't attack, and it was a horrible, horrible 0-0. I can't remember what game it was now, but if you check the record, you'll see it. But basically, ever since that happened, it was the most corrupt thing ever. Ever since that happened, now, in football, generally, all deciding games have to be played at the same time. So we're seeing Napoli against Inter Milan tonight, and then we are going to play, we're going to see, on the weekend, we're going to do Venezia against Juventus, which is probably the deciding game in Serie A's Champions League race. Roma still to play, Lazio still to play. I don't know who else is still going to play on the final day. Everyone, basically. But those are the ones that are still in with a chance of getting into the Champions League. Roma, Lazio, and Juventus. We're going to do the Juventus game. So, really looking forward to it. Mohamed, Chelsea. What do you say? What chances Chelsea have to qualify for the Champions League? I think Chelsea do it, Mohamed. Yeah, I think Chelsea do it. I'm almost certain they do. Chelsea will do it. And I think Villa will do it, and something tells me Newcastle are going to draw with Everton and miss out. I know that's not that's not a popular opinion, but I do think Everton have got something in them. Assuming David Moyes doesn't go weak, I've got a feeling that they could go there and get a point against Newcastle. So we shall see. Charlie's SCFC, Modric has bought a house in Swansea. I did see that. Luka Modric to Swansea. That makes a lot of sense. Obviously, he's invested in the club, hasn't he, as well? So it does seem to make a lot of sense. Modric to Swansea. Now, could the Swans get back amongst it? That'd be really interesting next season if Modric is in the Championship. AM10, Verts is actually happening. Oh my God, mate. Callum's just been mentioning it. Verts basically telling Bayern to get on your bike, sunshine, on your bike. I'm going to Liverpool. That's what it's about. So, really looking forward to the next couple of days with Florian Wirtz. He's already allegedly been house shopping in Liverpool in the northwest. And I wonder, could we see him signing for the Reds? That'd be a big statement, wouldn't it? That would be a statement signing to City and to Arsenal to basically say, listen, you ain't getting this title back next season. We've basically just gone out and bought arguably the best young number 10 in world football. You know, the next Kevin De Bruyne sort of a player. Top player, Florian Wirtz. Callum, Soberslime, McAllister, Wirtz, unbelievable. Apparently Kompany didn't give him what he wanted. Well, I just don't think, if you go and meet Vincent Kompany and you go and meet Arne Slot, I can't imagine that's a really difficult decision to make for Florian Wirtz, to be honest. Callum, Branthwaite is injured for Everton. Newcastle are getting Champions League. Listen, Branthwaite was injured, wasn't he, against Fulham. He was injured against Fulham, and Everton went to Craven Cottage and got a win. Now, Arsenal dropped points at Craven Cottage. Liverpool got beat at Craven Cottage. I really do think that Everton can go to Newcastle and get something. They don't like them Geordies. They don't like the barcodes, the horse punchers, as they're called. Everton don't like him. Jordan Pickford gets stick every time he goes up there. He's a big Sunderland fan. I think they'll be quite relishing the idea of getting a point against Newcastle. So, I don't know why. Like I said, it's going to be very difficult to predict. It could quite as easily be Forest beating Chelsea. It could quite as easily be United turn up and finally produce a performance that, Villa only get a draw. Then all of a sudden, it's Newcastle and maybe Chelsea, or Newcastle and Forest. It could really go any way on that final day, and we're going to be watching it live here. We're obviously going to be focusing on Forest and Chelsea. That's the main game we're going to do, and then we're going to stick around for the Liverpool trophy lift after it. But really looking forward to that one. Can we see an upset in the Napoli game tonight, says M.1? No. I honestly can't. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw at different points in the night maybe Napoli drawing and Inter go ahead against Como, and then it looks like, in play, it looks like Inter are going to win it. But I still think Napoli just about get the job done. Yeah, Napoli will get the job done tonight. Charlie SCFC, if I'm honest, should be coming back to the big boys. Nice. Joe Stone, Jacob Murphy, clear. Jake, ironically, heavily reported today, Isak is very close to signing a new Newcastle deal. Told you. Listen, signing a new deal doesn't mean anything. I've told you this. He could sign a new deal today and be gone tomorrow. This is the fickle nature of football, mate. It doesn't matter whether Isak signed a new contract. He's going. Eventually, he's going. He's got no loyalty to Newcastle. He ain't going to win what he wants to win at Newcastle. He can't win league titles. He can't win Champions Leagues at Newcastle. He will go eventually if he's got any level of ambition. Otherwise, he'll end up like Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son. 1 title to his name in 10 years. And he ain't going to stay there for that. It ain't going to happen. AM10, that Cheshire house trip sells everyone. Yeah, I mean, Christ, if you go and have a look at them houses round Hale Barnes in the northwest, there's absolutely glorious houses round that way. JJ Millis, are you worried about the Bundesliga tax? What do you mean the Bundesliga tax? No, not really. There's a lot of players. We did this last night. We were talking about this on the channel. We were talking about good players who've come from the Bundesliga. There's loads of them. Matip. Honestly, Matip, Mateta, De Bruyne, Akanji. There's lots of very, very good players who've come. Haaland, lots of good players who've come. Emre Can was another one. Had loads of good players coming from the Bundesliga. So no, I'm not at all. Jake Curtin, 80% win rate at home, knee chance. It only takes a draw. They don't need to beat you. They just need to draw. A draw for Everton ends Newcastle's hopes of Champions League football. And Everton are very, very hard to beat. Very hard to beat. So watch out for that. Jake, think Chelsea fancied going to St James's 2 weeks ago like Everton, didn't get nothing. Man, I know, but Bournemouth did, and Fulham did. Again, it's only a point. It doesn't mean anything. Just a point, that's all they need. AM10, what position do you reckon Wirtz plays in, and do you think that's our window done? No, Liverpool got loads. We got Wirtz. I mean, minimum we'll get Kirkes or at least another left back, whoever it might be. Maybe Hato, maybe Hincapié, maybe Geertrude, someone like that. It isn't going to be just Florian Wirtz and Frimpong and that's it. No, not at all. Nick A13 prediction, Getafe and Celta Vigo. I fancy Celta. Yeah, Celta Vigo. I'd go 2-1 Celta Vigo there. Joe Stowe, I hate Newcastle, Dad. What's your balance? Florian Wirtz is getting done. Semi right now. Mr. Nice Guy, yo, how's it going? Good to see you, mate. Jake Curtin, Bournemouth and Fulham was in the middle of a semi-final, which we prioritised. You're sounding like a United fan now. We prioritised the league. Yeah, and then you got your arse handed to you in the Europa League final. Go on, Spurs! Go on, Spurs! I still can't believe that. They got absolutely battered. Yes, get in there. David, do you think Arsenal will get Gyökeres or Sesko? I don't know. If I'm dead honest as a Liverpool fan, neither of them concern me. I would be more worried if Arsenal went and got Ollie Watkins. That would be a bigger statement of intent, I think, them going out and getting Watkins. Because I don't think Gyökeres guarantees goals. He had a very mediocre record in the Championship over there. Other centre forwards, other players have got much better records in the Championship, come up to the Premier League and done absolutely nothing. So I don't think his record in the Championship is all that great. Sesko's a very talented striker, and I like Sesko, but I don't think he comes in and has an immediate effect. I think he probably comes in and just has a little bit of a maybe 1 or 2 years minimum where he's got to kind of bed in. Do you know what I mean? Jacob UTV 2010, is Watkins a top 15 striker in the world? I don't know. Probably not. No, I don't think he's the top 15 in the world. I could probably name 15 better than Watkins. I don't think he's the top 15. But he's a very good striker, and it's more that I think that would be a statement of intent from Arsenal, because he's 30 years old, isn't he? But he's always guaranteed you a decent number of Premier League goals. Plus, he's an Arsenal fan. He would want to make that move work. So, if Arsenal went out and dropped 50 million quid on Ollie Watkins, I would think, wow, okay, they're serious about the title. They've gone and got one of the best centre forwards outside the top five. And yeah, that's a really big statement of intent. Gyökeres and Sesko wouldn't impress me anywhere near as much as Watkins. But yeah, if I'm dead honest, I would be more the one that obviously they should be going for. I think if I was Mikel Arteta, I wouldn't even be worrying about any other position. I'd just go and get Isak. I'd just go and say to Newcastle, how much do you want? 150? All right, fine, we'll pay it. 150. Don't get anyone else if you can't afford it. Just get Isak. Isak would be the one that would make me sit up and take notice and go, okay, yeah, they're going to be some challenge next season. But no one else, really. No one else. YM Squeaks, you look like an Everton fan. I'm not that bitter. I'm not angry at all. I'm not an Everton fan. I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. But if I look like an Everton fan, I don't know why. Are Everton fans all as handsome as me? I don't know. Jake Curtin, doubter's got a doubt. Watership Allen, Sobbo will be an 8. Oh, we're talking about where will Wirtz play. I think Wirtz will play. I think he plays in one of the wide positions, actually. Yeah, I don't think he actually does play central. If he plays in that midfield 3, I would be rather worried. Yeah. You sound Scouse. Not Scouse. No, I'm from just outside Liverpool. I was born about 15-20 minutes from Anfield. Lived about 15-20 minutes from Anfield all my life. But no, not Scouse. Not Scouse. Slight twang of Scouse. But I get from Scousers, they call me a wool. Manx call me a Scouser. I'm kind of in between the two. But in between Liverpool and Manchester. Nathan Dobson up the toffees. What are your thoughts on the Hill Dickinson Stadium, Nathan? Bam and Basher, Liverpool are going back-to-back Premier Leagues. I'm not sure about that. I still think it depends how we get on in this summer window. I'm not 100% sure on it just yet. Callum, we've made an offer and personal terms have been agreed, says Romano. That's for Wirtz. Jacob UTV, do you think PSG will win the treble? Yes, I do. Yes, absolutely they will. Yeah, they'll beat Inter. Pretty confident they'll beat Inter. I'm pretty confident they'll do the French Cup as well. They've got Reims in the French Cup, and Reims are going down, to be honest. Or it looks like they're going down. We'll be doing Reims against Metz in the French League One playoff in a couple of days. Benji Smith, who's winning the league, fella? Napoli or Inter? Napoli. Yeah, Napoli. I think Napoli get the job done tonight against Cagliari. I think I've said it a couple of times on the live already, but I think at different points we'll see maybe Napoli drawing and Inter will get a goal up against Como. The two are going to play off at the same time. So, yeah, I'm sure there'll be plenty of twists and turns in this one, but I'm not sure it's going to be anything other than a Napoli win. They're going to lift the Scudetto at the end of the night. That's my personal opinion. Anthony, as a Juventus supporter, Forza Napoli and Ale PSG. Okay. Not an Inter fan then, mate. Not an Inter fan, Anthony. But yeah, listen, I want to get your thoughts on a few other things tonight. It's not just Florian Wirtz. Let's talk more about this Europa League. Let's talk more about the Europa League. Let's talk about Manchester United putting every single player up for sale. What do we think about that? What do we think about Manchester United putting everyone up for sale? And do they actually end up making some big unexpected player sales? Does Bruno Fernandes leave? Does Bruno Fernandes at nearly 31 years old, 31 I think he'll be. Do we think he leaves Manchester United? And if so, who to, and for how much? That's the question. Jacob, where do you think KDB would go? Where do I think KDB will go? I think he'll stay in the Prem. I hope he stays in the Prem. I think he's too good to be going to Saudi or, any, Qatari league or anything like that. I hope he doesn't go to the MLS. I hope he stays in Europe and keeps performing as he has done, because I think he's a top player still. But where he goes, I think it's probably still up in the air. There's a part of me that thinks he might be tempted to go to somewhere like Villa. Because I tell you something, if Asensio leaves Villa, they need a Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne going to Villa with Unai Emery. That could do some damage. They would be unbelievable. So, yeah, I think that's one I would be watching for sure. Aiden, Man United getting killed by Ange, a Liverpool fan, is quite funny. Anthony, United are in quicksand with concrete boots. Yeah, financially, off the pitch, on the pitch, it's all looking bad for United, isn't it? Let's be honest. Not a particularly good time to be a United fan. We are live right now, by the way. I should mention we are live right now, not just on TikTok, but also on YouTube, on X, on Twitch, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you might be watching this. Please do make sure you go over to YouTube, search Premier League Dad. On there, we've got a scoreboard, we've got a live, a clock, and we've got, goal animations when goals go in, all that sort of thing. That is where you can find us. We are live every single day on this channel, so make sure you go and give us a follow on YouTube, Premier League Dad. Barman Basher, I think KDB possibly goes to Serie A. Slower league will suit him. Okay. Nathan Dobbo Dobson, Liam Delap. I said, mate, Nathan, I really do think Liam Delap would be a great fit for Everton. But allegedly, it's come out today that Liam Delap is he's had conversations with Newcastle, Manchester United, and Chelsea. Now, Manchester United taking Liam Delap, I think only works if they are committed to getting rid of Rasmus Højlund and probably Joshua Zirkzee. At the very least, one of them. And I just don't think that Rasmus Højlund goes for any meaningful amount of money. Probably the same with Joshua Zirkzee. So it's whether or not Manchester United as a board are happy to make a big loss on Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund, 75 million quid, 80 million quid they paid for him. How much does Rasmus Højlund go for now in this window? Yeah. How much do you get for Rasmus Højlund in this window right now as a Man United fan? Timmy, can I have your predictions on all English playoff finals this weekend? I'm hoping for a Sunderland win, but I think Sheffield United nick it 2-1. I think that Walsall will win in the League 2 playoff, and I think I'm going to go 2-1 Walsall, and I think the Charlton one's going to be tight. I'd go 1-0 Charlton maybe. Yeah. 1-0 Charlton. So I think Walsall beat Wimbledon. And I think Charlton beat Leyton Orient 1-0. That's my prediction anyway. Spurs the champions. Come on, you Spurs. Get in there. Apparently Modric moving to Leeds. Well, it says Tom Westwood. Right, well, quite a few people saying Swansea. Some others saying Leeds. I do wonder. Anthony, no one earning big money at United is worth keeping. Sell, keep prospects and rebuild drastically. The problem is the prospects, because they've got zero sort of, they've got big book value, haven't they, financially? The prospects are the ones that they're most enticed to sell. So your likes of Garnacho, Mainu, Rashford, these are the players that are going to make Manchester United the most money because they've got effectively no cost attached to them. They've come through the academy. So it's them that will get them the biggest fee. Whereas if they go out and sell like a Rasmus Højlund, actually they've got to basically set fire of £50 million to get rid of him. And that's assuming he goes for 30. Kieran, I hope Delap stays. I don't think he's staying at Ipswich now, mate. I think you're wishful thinking there. Fish, hi, how's it going? Fish, good to see you. Name 5 Crystal Palace players, sir. 5 Crystal Palace players. Are we talking about present or past? Let's do present. So I can do past as well, but let's go present. 5 Palace players. I would go Mateta, Eze, Wharton, Sarr, Gueye. Mateta, Eze, Wharton, Sarr, Gueye. I thought I'd named 5 then. Nathan can't see the lap going to United. They got Cunha. Well, Cunha is allegedly going to play more off the left flank, sort of where Garnacho plays now. So I think Garnacho might end up going, whether that's to Napoli, to Chelsea. There's various people linked with him. But I think Garnacho goes, and I think Cunha will end up playing off the left. Kyle Banks, rather keep Xerxes than Højlund. I know what you've got to think about the market, mate. I just don't think there's a market for either of them. But United might be tempted to just maybe get Højlund out on loan. In the same way with Anthony. You know, Anthony has gone out on loan. Everyone expected that one to be an absolute awful, awful signing. You know, you paid close to, 80, 90 million for him. You're probably going to have lost 70 million before that loan to Betis. And he's gone to Betis. Actually now, there's a real market for Anthony, isn't there? All of a sudden, Anthony, Atletico Madrid want him. There's some unbelievable players, some unbelievable clubs interested in Anthony. Fish, which Sarr? Ismail Sarr. Kieran Baines, is it true that every United player is up for sale? Surely not true. Yeah, allegedly so, yeah. Allegedly, there's not a single Manchester United player that is up for sale. And when I say up for sale, I don't mean they've actually got they've not listed them on eBay or Gumtree or anything. I mean that if any club is particularly interested in that player and they make Man United a reasonable offer, they'll probably consider it. Basically, there's nobody who's not up for negotiation. Like if you went to Liverpool now and you said how much for Mo Salah, they'd just not be interested. There's no conversation you can have for him. The same could probably be said with Arsenal and Bukayo Saka. That sort of a thing. But with with Manchester United, they can't afford not to accept a reasonable offer for pretty much any player. Anthony Gacy, Rasmus, 35 million at the most right now. 35 million for Rasmus. You're not getting 35 million. No chance. Mateg 2 up the blades. Again, honestly, Matt, I am hoping for Sunderland. All cards on the table, mate. I do. It's not that I support Sunderland. I'd just rather see the Time Weir derby back in the Premier League. I quite like the Stadium of Light. And I just think Chris Wilder and Sheffield United, I'm not convinced that he'll come up and do anything meaningful in the Prem. I think he'd go back down again. So, yeah, I'm rooting for Sunderland, but I do expect Sheffield United will get it done in the end. Jacob, where do you think Rashford will go? I think he stays at United. There's a part of me that thinks he stays at United. I think Rashford's position at Manchester United is strengthening every passing week. Because I think he knows, very, very soon, I think he knows, there's going to come a time where Ruben Amorim isn't at that club. And when Ruben Amorim goes, he'll get another chance with whoever the new manager is. And it might be Gareth Southgate, by the way. Gareth Southgate is the next favourite to be the next Manchester United manager. If it is Amorim who doesn't kind of get it right, Southgate might be the one to go in. And he quite likes Rashford, doesn't he? He's done all right with Rashford in the past. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw Marcus Rashford come back into the fold at Man United. He didn't really want to leave, but he left because he had an issue with Amorim. Those two didn't see eye to eye. And Amorim's position is weakening every single day. So Rashford, to me, I think there's a world where he stays. He's on 325 grand a week. No club's paying Marcus Rashford that sort of money. And no club's paying 40 million quid for him, which is allegedly what United want. So, yeah, there's just no way for me. I'm looking at it and going, stinks to me of another loan. I think Rashford, if he doesn't stay at United, he'll go out on loan again. Probably to somewhere like Juventus or Barca or Dortmund, someone in Europe. He'll go out for a year and he'll probably come back. So he'll stay at United because those clubs won't pay you. Daft Punk, Wirtz to Liverpool. Ornstein and Romano reporting. Yeah, we've just been talking about it, mate. Wirtz to Liverpool. Really, really surprising. Looking forward to seeing how that one pans out. I'm not 100% sold on him. I like him as a player. Don't get me wrong, but 150 million euros, whatever it ends up being, it's a big fee for him, isn't it? Big fee. And I'm not sure where he fits into the team, if I'm dead honest with you. James, do you reckon how João Pedro will go to Arsenal? Possibly. Again, is that João Pedro just feels like another Kai Havertz to me. Another striker who doesn't really score goals. Is that a striker who moves the needle for Arsenal? Is that a striker that's really going to help them kick on and become a a Premier League title winning side? I'm not sure it is. Yeah, I'm not sure it is. Again, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Nathan Dobbo, what's the thoughts on the latest England squad selection? I'm to be honest, I'm dead honest again. I don't follow England. I've seen the squad selection, but I don't watch England. I'm a Liverpool fan, and it's one of them. I don't watch England at all. It just gives me no enjoyment. So, yeah. I haven't got any interest in watching any of the England games. I'll watch them if it's on, but it does nothing for me. Jordan Henderson shouldn't be in the England squad. Kyle Walker shouldn't be in the England squad. There's a few in there that I don't really agree with. I can see he's dropped Foden. That makes sense. But again, yeah, I don't know. Thomas Tuchel, I don't know. I don't like England. I don't like watching England play. Matt Egg, Sunderland finished 16 points below us. Don't think they'd do any better, and we've got new owners now. Sunderland have got a better team than Sheffield United. They have got a better... In terms of... If I look at Sheffield United's teams, there's more players in there. Sunderland's team, there's more players in there that are quote-unquote Premier League ready than Sheffield United's. There's not a Premier League player in that Sheffield United side. Maybe Hamer at a push. I look at, Campbell. I look at Kiefer Moore. Amadodzic. Harrison Burrows, maybe. Okay, Harrison Burrows, I think he's quite a decent player. And Hamer. And then beyond that, I'm not sure there's anyone else. Whereas if you look at Sunderland, I think there's talent there. There's young talent with Chris Rigg, with Bellingham. I think Dan Ballard's done himself no favour, no harm at all in terms of how he's performed since he's come back in. Isidore can cause problems. We've seen that as well. And Mayenda as well. Obviously scoring against Coventry. Good player. Some good pace up front. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of young talent in that Sunderland squad, and I think it's one of them where I'd like to see him come up. Even if they go back down, I think they'd impress a few and they'd turn a few heads. Not sure that's the case with Sheffield United. I'd almost see Southampton happening again with Sheffield United. You'd come up and you'd go down as bottom team. Chris Wilder still manager probably. Not a massive amount of faith that they do wonders there. So I'm rooting for Sunderland. Harley Amarim ain't going. I think he is, I think he is. At some point, he's definitely going. Anthony Amarim is a much better coach than Southgate. English managers are a guaranteed fail. Tell that to Newcastle and Eddie Howe, mate. Eddie, there's nothing wrong with English managers. Nothing wrong with English managers. Harley, lad, you probably never watched Verts play, mate. Just seen TikTok highlights. Mate, go and have a look. Go and have a look at my YouTube channel. We've done Bayer Leverkusen games loads of times. Steve Keane, 208. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is an absolute joke, overrated, and only going there for easy football. English footy, the best in the world. Well, I don't know about the best in the world. I think we've got the best quality, but the most entertaining, I'm not sure. Real Madrid, I don't know if he's going there for easy footy, but I agree with you that he's a rat. I agree that he's let his club down, he's let his fans down, he's lied to the fans, and I think he's going to regret his move, definitely. So, yeah, good riddance to Trent. Liverpool will send his Premier League winners medal in the post. I hope he never wears the shirt again. And if Arne Slot's got any good sense, he won't have him anywhere near the parade or the trophy lift on Sunday. Be yourself, Dylan. I hope Napoli win, so then Man United feel worse. McTominay could win a trophy. Yeah, McTominay is going to win a trophy. I think he'll have the Scudetto there, mate. Razine, how's it going, mate? How are you, Key? YouTube provide a better football, but I guess Napoli will win the league anyway. 3-2 Inter. Exciting game, but we'll check on updates for the Napoli game. Nice. Okay. Joe Stone, now you can't say you're not a Mackham. I'm not a Mackham. I'm just saying I think Sheffield United are not going to be as good in the Prem as Sunderland are. That's not saying I'm a Mackham. Archie04, Chelsea, Osimhen. Osimhen most likely to go to Saudi is what we've been hearing. But Osimhen to Chelsea, I think Chelsea are probably the most likely Premier League side to get Osimhen. Yes. Steve Keane, Bellingham's better than his brother. I think 200 million a joke. Grebo, Amorim won't leave before Christmas, mate. I mean, I honestly, I almost think that Amorim is saying he wants to be sacked. Did you not see the statement that he put out the other day where he was talking after the game and saying, I'll go, if United fans or the United board say they don't want me at the club anymore, I will go, no compensation. There's no way at all that he's offering that unless he actually really wants to leave. Like, just put me out of my misery. For the love of God, I just don't want to be here anymore. Let me go. Let me put me out of this misery. Archie04, what's your league winners next season? Can't say. You honestly can't say yet. It's still far too early. You've got to see how the summer plays out. It depends what each team does. If Arsenal go and get Alexander Isak, then it might just change things. As it stands, yeah, of course, you'd still say Liverpool are the favourites, but we've not seen City's summer yet. City could go and do something really, really big. Arsenal could do something really big. If Arsenal end up with Zubamendi and Gyökeres, or Zubamendi and Sesko, we'll walk it again. We'll absolutely walk it. It won't even be close. We'll rinse them. But if they go and get someone like Isak, maybe Rodrigo, then all of a sudden, then it becomes a slightly different conversation, doesn't it? Then at that point, you're thinking, oh Christ, okay, yeah, they're really serious. They could put a real challenge in on Liverpool, and we won't just be partying in Ibiza with a month or two to spare. It's not going to be that sort of a breeze this year. Steve Keane, what are your views on Arnold? And be honest, mate, I only know one way to be, and yeah, I've said he's a rat. He's a rat. He's lied to the club. He's lied to the fans. He's lied to himself, and he'll regret it. He'll regret the move. Ollie Freire, Begovic, Everton to Carlisle, back under Mark Hughes. Begovic. Always a good keeper, Begovic. Archie04, who do you think getting Champions League this season? Who's getting Champions League? I think Chelsea and Villa. Yeah, I think Newcastle draw with Everton. Don't know why. I've got a funny feeling that Newcastle draw with Everton, and on the final day, Villa beat United, Chelsea beat Forest, and they sneak in, and Newcastle get Europa League football. That's my gut feeling. It's a very, very tight one to call, but I do think that Newcastle will drop out. Lauren, are you showing the match live? No, Lauren, I can't do. Sorry. I'd love to. It's not me being unreasonable. I really would love to, but if I did, the channel would get banned. It would get banned very, very quickly, so I can't do. I'm sorry. Steve Keane, Man U need Isak. Man U need a lot more than Isak. Archie, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Archie. Yeah, Liverpool fan. But as you've probably guessed, if you're new to this channel, we watch absolutely everyone on this channel. We're watching, obviously, Serie A tonight. We watched the Scottish relegation playoff last night, Livingston against Ross County. We're watching the King's Cup, the Saudi King's Cup in a few days. We're watching the Europa League, the Conference League finals, the Champions League finals, obviously all the playoffs, League 1, League 2 playoffs, Championship playoff final on Saturday, the Bundesliga, DFB Pokal final, everything. We watch all. If you love football and you love watch-alongs, this is the channel to be on. We do more watch-alongs than any other channel around. Mark Goldbridge did 16 watch-alongs last month. 16 watch-alongs last month. We did 17 last week. That's the sort of channel we are. Hayden, Trent won't regret anything. It's Real Madrid. Basically guarantees himself 2 Champions Leagues before he retires. He's already been in 3 Champions League finals with Liverpool, though. I mean, it's not like I said, mate, he's not going to Madrid for trophies. You know that, don't you? He's not going for trophies because the trophy cabinet that he's had at Liverpool is already chock full. The trophy cabinet that he'd get at Madrid, that'll be chock full too, and maybe it'll be a touch bigger. But it's not like there's a massive difference. It's not like he's going from Man United to Real Madrid, where they're winning very little. He's not going from Everton to Real Madrid. He's going from a team that wins pretty much everything and wins something every year to a team that wins pretty much everything and wins something every year. It's not trophies. That's not why he's gone to Madrid. He's gone to Madrid because he reckons he can win a Ballon d'Or. The lad is deluded. He's about as arrogant as it gets. Hayden might regret losing that connection with the fans, but nothing footballing-wise. Mate, listen, wait till he gets booed off in the Classico because he decides to leave He leaves Vinicius Junior unmarked at the back post, and he's getting death threats and all sorts after the game. The Madridistas chasing him out of his house. Honestly, he doesn't even. He cried when Liverpool booed him on the pitch the other day, and all of a sudden, what now? Now he won't be able to last 5 minutes in Madrid. He won't last 5 minutes. Jacob, do you think Chelsea will make any signings, and who? I'm sure they will make signings, but they'll probably have to sell a couple of hotels first, and maybe the women's team and all that. Why will Trent mark his own player? You know what I mean? I didn't mean that. I meant Lamine Yamal, not Vinicius Junior. Lamine Yamal. When he leaves Lamine Yamal unmarked at the back stick. Lewis Darling, Bristol City are massive, I think. Maybe Bristol can come up next season. Yeah, Bristol City, they didn't really finish the season all that well. Got absolutely mullered by Sheffield United. H, thoughts on United going into the next season? I think United will be a lot better than people give them credit for. I don't think they're going to be in the relegation zone, but I'm pretty confident they'll be bottom half again. Yeah, they'll be bottom half. Why would he leave Yamal unmarked when he's on the other side? Because he's quite frequently, Trent Alexander-Arnold finds himself on the other side. And Xabi Alonso's system often switches the fullbacks as well. Same as Jurgen Klopp's and Arne Slot's did. So you never know, mate. You never know. There is a circumstance where Trent Alexander-Arnold and Lamine Yamal are unmarked or marking each other at the back post. Hayden, don't know how he would leave Vinny free when they're on the same team. Joestar, why would Trent mark his own player? Valid. Saludos desde Mexico. Good to see you, mate. Billy, 1988. Mank, what team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. Steve Keane, that's like saying Hull City winning a game. Lewis, as a Bristol City fan, I'm just happy we got into the playoffs. Result was shit, though. User 111000907. Would it hurt you to see Trent do well at Madrid? No, not at all. I just don't think he will. You've got to remember, Michael Owen went to Real Madrid. In 12 months, he wanted to come back. Steve McManaman went to Real Madrid. In 12 months, he wanted to come back. The club were trying to bomb him out. Gareth Bale went to Real Madrid. Did incredibly well. Was still being chased out of the club. Trent Alexander-Arnold will get absolutely terrored over there. He'll get terrored, and I'm not sure he'll be able to take it. The lad is someone who is very much choosing personal success over team success. And you know, Arne Slot coming out today and said his application in training over the last 12 months hasn't been very good. To me, that tells you everything you need to know. He's not been the most professional. He's lied to the club, he's lied to the fans, and he's been self-serving throughout the whole saga. So he deserves everything he gets. He'll go to Real Madrid thinking he's going to try and compete for a Ballon d'Or, and he'll get bombed out. And that'll be it. He'll never ever play for him. He'll never play for Liverpool again. In 12, 18 months, I guarantee you, Trent Alexander-Arnold is being pushed out on loan somewhere to like probably a Chelsea or a Man City or someone like that. He'll go back and he'll come back to the Premier League on loan to someone. That's what we'll see with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Or do you know what, actually? No, he likes his fashion, doesn't he? He likes his fashion. So he's going to Madrid for the fashion. He'll probably go to Milan or Paris. He might go to PSG, although Hakimi's miles better than him at the minute. But he could go to Milan, couldn't he? He could go to AC Milan. Maybe he goes to AC or Inter. Will, good to see you, Will. Verts is interesting. Yep, very, very interesting. Dylan, are you going the parade, lad? No, mate, not my idea of a fun time, to be honest. User, I think, will be rated so much higher by the average football fan by going to Madrid. The average football fan is a fool. The average football fan is an absolute moron. The average football fan is the sort of person who says that Trent Alexander-Arnold can't defend. That's the average football fan. So if he cares about the average football fan, then yeah, he's probably made the right choice in going to Madrid. Michael Jackson, he is a snake. Benji, you'll always walk alone. Well, yeah, if you behave like that, absolutely you will. User 11, Liverpool fans are dumb, got rattled quick. Nah, they're not going. It's no rattled. It's not rattled. It's just a player lying to the club. Player lying. You don't like that. Trent would play at AC. They just signed Walker. I don't know, Walker's dusted, isn't he? He's, 34? Nathan Dobson, I've heard Forest owner has banned Gary Neville from going the game at the weekend. Well, he's not the Forest owner anymore, is he? He's not the Forest owner, so I'm not sure he can actually... Well, he probably can do that. I'm sure he's still got power there. But yeah, Marinakis, he hasn't actually got... His shares have gone into a trust. So in theory, he doesn't have anything to do with Nottingham Forest anymore. Ryan Campbell, Sunderland or Sheffield tomorrow? Hoping for Sunderland, expecting Sheffield United, sadly. Rafinha's going to choke Trent and make him regret. Hope so, and Nico Williams as well. Modric was forced to leave Real Madrid. They don't want to renew his contract. He was willing to stay for low salary and rotation role. Okay. Oh, I wonder where he does end up. I mean, there's rumours linking him to Swansea and to Leeds. Allegedly tonight, people saying in the chat. Will, what's the lineups tonight? We'll cover them in just a few moments. We're going to be coming up to kick-off in just a minute. User 1100907. Ultimately, I don't think Trent could have done it any realistic way Liverpool fans would have liked. All he needed to do was say 12 months ago, or even 6 months ago, right? If he'd have said 12 months ago after Klopp had left, I want to do something different. I want to go and do something different. I want to go and play in Spain. I want a different challenge. I want to experience something different. There would still have been a small percentage of Liverpool fans, or what, maybe we'll disagree on the percentage, but I'm sure there would have been a minority of Liverpool fans who would have still disliked him and still called him a rat. But I guarantee the vast, vast majority would have said, do you know what, fair enough. Fair enough. Listen, Klopp's going. We've got this new guy coming in. It's probably going to be a period of transition. Nobody really expected Liverpool to do all that well, right? All that well. So I'm pretty sure we can understand that. And do you know what? He would have got a clap. He'd have got a parade. He'd have got, applauded onto the pitch and all that sort of thing. He'd have got proper send-off. He would have got a proper send-off. Ian Rush did it. Other people have done it in the past, and it's not been a terrible, terrible thing. As long as you're clear with the club. You're saying, what if he wasn't sure 12 months ago? It's been proven. He said it. He has been talking to Real Madrid. Even Arsene Wenger said it the other day. He's been talking to Real Madrid. This move has been planned for well over 18 months. Well over 18 months. So the very idea that he's only been, I've just been making my mind up. It's absolute nonsense. It's naivety from moronic football fans. Absolute moronic football fans saying that, he's still making his mind up. He wasn't sure. Don't talk nonsense. Don't be so naive. He has literally known for the best part of 2 years that he was going to Real Madrid and he was going on a free. And I think he's a little bit annoyed, a little bit pissed off at how well Liverpool have done this season. That's what it's been about. The real Michael Jackson, I hope Napoli get over the line. Yep. Colin, what do you think on the result tonight, my mate? Good to see you, Colin. I think Napoli get the job done. I think it'll be 2-0. But we might have a little bit of a scare midway through. Maybe Inter Milan go ahead and Napoli are still level and it looks like Inter are going to take it. I don't know. There's going to be some twists and turns tonight. Obviously, Inter Milan and Como are on the other side, so we shall see. Right, let's get this... a numpty band on the other side here. Why did he have to say anything? He's looking after himself. Exactly. And that's why it's a problem. He's looking after himself. And if you support the club, then you don't just look after yourself. I think the club have done amazingly well for him and his family in supporting him over the years. And the fans have as well, by the way. When he was getting pelters and all sorts of, other fans saying he can't defend and he was getting dropped for Kieran Trippier and Reece James and other people getting played in his position. And Liverpool fans have been defending him for years, saying how great he is and what a top player he is. And he's basically turned round and wiped his arse on the shirt. and done that. That's basically what he's done. And that's why Liverpool fans don't like him. That's why he's fallen out with Liverpool fans. And he knows that. And he knew it. He knew that was going to be the case. Every local Liverpool fan knew that was going to be the case. Every local fan. And he still went ahead and did it. So he doesn't give a toss. He doesn't care. He's going to Real Madrid. And he knew it was going to be a kick-off. And he knew that fans would say this. And he's gone, yeah, I'm not bothered anyway. I'll still go. Don't care. James calling one of your own a rat is bang out of order. We're not rats, mate. He's a rat. He's a rat. Do you think Trent went about it the wrong way but still loves Liverpool, which is sad? No, I don't think he gives a monkeys about Liverpool. I don't think he gives a toss about Liverpool. Clearly he doesn't, because he has treated Liverpool the way that I would expect Alexis McAllister to treat Liverpool. Yeah, he's done what any other football player would do. But he's not just any other football player. He's the scouser in our team, as the song goes. He's the boy done good. He's the local lad. He's the lad who supported the club all his life. He can't treat the club... Christ, Matheus Cunha signed a contract with Wolves so they would get a decent fee. Trent, and at least he has told them all the way through that he wants to leave Wolves. Wolves have now they're going to get 70 million quid from him. Trent Alexander-Arnold has left it. Trent Alexander-Arnold only told Arne Slot in March that he was actually going to leave. March. He's known for at least 18 months. The guy's a liar. LFC Pack 2, AM10, I don't blame him for wanting to go as he's won everything, just don't like the way he's gone about it. There you go. Perfectly agree with that, AM10. That's absolutely right. Jacob, who's going to win the FA Cup and Carabao Cup next season? Depends entirely on the summer. We've still got to see what happens in the summer. Liverpool fans defended him after he won you everything. I don't like that argument. He won us everything. Or did he win everything with us? Again, it's a two-way street, mate. He's done very, very well for Liverpool. Liverpool have done very, very well for him, right? So when you leave a relationship, you're supposed to do it in the right way. And I honestly think that Trent Alexander-Arnold could have been, I'm not even going to say a little bit respectful. He could have been a lot more respectful than he's actually been. He's basically gone, what is the way I can screw Liverpool the most? And done that. He's lied throughout. He's got what he wanted. And he's going to leave and get a big pot of money. It's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine if he's just any other player. That's no problem. But not when you're Trent Alexander-Arnold and you're a local lad and you say you care about the club and you love the club. You can't do that. You can't do that. You're held to a different standard than other players. Trippier was way better than him 2 seasons ago. He was average. Trips was tops that season. Trippier's crap, mate. Trippier's garbage. He's an absolute average fullback and has always been an average fullback. He's been a liability defensively for years. He was never even... Kieran Trippier will never, ever, ever, ever be remembered in even remotely the same category as Trent Alexander-Arnold. And as much as I don't like Trent, and I say he's a rat, he's still a wonderful footballer. Kieran Trippier is not even... He's not even in the same breath, mate. You can still love Liverpool and want to leave. You can, but you've got to leave in the right way. If you want to, if you care about your relationship with the fans, you'd leave in the right way. 1 second. If Trent had a release clause, I don't think Madrid would go for him. And doesn't that tell you everything? Doesn't that tell you everything? If he had a release clause or they needed to pay anything, he wouldn't have even gone. So doesn't that tell you everything about Real Madrid and how they value him? They don't really care. And he should have said, well, look, if you really want me, I really want to come, but if you really want me, you need to do right by my team, the team that have looked after me, the club that have looked after me and my family for many, many years. So we need to do it the right way. I want to leave. I want to come to you. Let's try and get me out of the club. You've got to speak to the club who I've got a contract with. It's that whole cloak and dagger thing. That's not nice. That's not right. Kafaji Era, who do you support? I am a Liverpool fan, mate. Isla 12, who do you want to win tomorrow? Sunderland or Sheffield United? I want Sunderland to win, but I think Sheffield United will win. User, I don't think he's actually sat there and tried to screw Liverpool. He's just done it wrong. So you agree that he has done it wrong. You agree that he has actually done it wrong. That's good. Jack, Wirtz to Liverpool, yes or no? I think he will come, but I'm not 100% sold on it. I don't know if he's the right fit for us. And I think for 150 million euros, I'm not sure. The jury's out. The jury's out. It's a big, big amount of money, isn't it? Jake, his numbers 2 seasons ago when we finished above you, it was way better. No. User 1110907, but doesn't that tell you why he didn't sign a contract? Well, okay, yeah, it does. It explains it practically, but would you screw over the team that you've been at for 20 years, the team that you profess to love, all of your friends, all of the staff and all that sort of thing, and the fans who supported you? Would you screw them over for a club who are basically saying, we've no interest at all in paying any money for you? So unless you can come on a free and you can screw them over, we're not going to pay any money for you. So that's it. If you want to come, that's the way you have to come. And at that point, Trent Alexander-Arnold should have gone, but all right then, fine, I'll stay. I don't want to be playing for... I'm not coming playing for you if that's the way you're expecting me to treat someone who's looked after us for many years. That's ridiculous. Leonardo, predictions on Chelsea Forest. I think 2-1 Chelsea. I think Chelsea win, yeah. Jack, do you think Wirtz will come to Liverpool? It's looking like it, Jack, yeah. Jonathan Tarr to Bayern is here we go. Interesting. Right, well, we're off here. We are off and underway. We are off and underway. Football fan, I want Napoli to lose. Inter to draw for that playoff match would be so entertaining. Callum, Kieran, here we go. Expected tonight. Random videos. When does the game start? It starts in about 5 seconds. Andy Horse, good luck, Trent. Going off to a club that'll appreciate you. Well done, lad. Hey, listen, I think time will tell. Time will show you that they don't quite appreciate him. And I'm sure you'll see that from him. M15-7, who's playing, mate? It's Napoli against Cagliari in the Scudetto Serie A title decider. Tom, hello, mate. How are we? Good to see you, Tom. Yeah, really good, mate. Really, really good. Right, we're off. AM10. Against Arsenal, didn't mind the booing when he first came on, but didn't like booing on every touch. I just think he should never play again for Liverpool. That should be it. I hope he never gets on the pitch against Palace. And yeah, if Arne Slot has any sense, he'll maybe just have him walk onto the podium at the end with the trophy lift. But he's not going to be part of the parade. Shouldn't be part of the parade. User 111000907. I totally agree he's not gone about it correctly. I just don't think he's done it purposely. But he's had over 2 years to think about it, and he's not had... You know, it's not just him, mate. He's had a whole family of advisors and legal people around him, people he trusts. This hasn't been a decision that's been made like really lightly. This has been a decision that has been made 2 years ago and then has been reinforced multiple times over that period. He's made lots and lots of mistakes along this way, and I think he knows it, and I think he's going to learn. He's going to learn, I'm telling you. Listen, I'm not saying Trent is going to go there and he's not going to win anything. He probably will. He'll probably go and win. He might even win a treble next season. You never know. Real Madrid always win things. So I'm sure he'll go there and he'll win things, but he'll be just another player. And in another 12 months, Real Madrid will be looking for something shiny, new shiny right back, whoever it is, someone brilliant who's coming back onto the scene. Trent Alexander-Arnold will be last. He'll be yesterday's chip paper. He'll be gone, and he'll be loaned out to someone, and it won't work out. Corner to Napoli here. They've started quite quickly, and Politano's about to whip this in. Nicola, the Cagliari coach there, just looking rather, I don't know, anxious on the touchline, I guess, from this fast Napoli start. Ball in, cleared away by Cagliari. Random videos. I'm going to the bus parade. Nice. Enjoy that, mate. Tom, what do you reckon United need to do with the team after the loss? Well, short term, what they need to do is probably play some of the young players. Some of the young players who... I honestly think if I was Ruben Amorim going into the Aston Villa game, I would be playing the likes of Collier, Amas, Chido Obi, if they can, Heaven. I would probably be speaking to the United board, and I would be asking them, which players am I able to let go? Because I would be making a clean break going into the new season. I would be basically, any player that gets near that Manchester United 11 or starts, they're the only ones who have a chance of staying next season. If he plays the likes of Højlund and Onana and Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, players who I think, Garnacho, players who I think either want to leave or could leave, he's made another massive mistake. The United fans don't want to see that. They would rather lose to Villa, I think, and have a clean break and have a group of players who really, really want to fight for Manchester United. And they'll get that with you know, your Amases, your Chido Obis and those sorts of players. I think they can take losing if it's a squad full of young, hungry players. Football fan, imagine a playoff match to decide the title. It would be insane. Yeah, I mean, we've come to that very, very closely a few times in Premier League history. I think the last time was Chelsea against Man United. It was very nearly finishing on equal points and equal goal difference, I think. It was very, very close. I think in the end Man United won it, but there was talks of potentially a title decider. Oh, Napoli with a shot just wide of the far right-hand post. Fabulous shot there, off the corner. It came in, punched away by the keeper. It comes out to the far left-hand side of the box, and a low shot just wide of the far post. Really, really good from, I think it's Romani who has the shot. Yeah, unlucky. Really unlucky, that. I think he just was too dumb to know how to tell Liverpool fans and regrets it because he does care. Well, whether he cares or not, he's gone about it the wrong way. He's a big boy. He's going to have to take his medicine now. So, there you go. Mind your own, few more days. Chelsea will be crying and we'll be singing Champions League, ole, ole, Aston Villa FC. I think both Chelsea and Villa are going to get it, mate. I honestly do. I think Newcastle are the team to watch. Newcastle dropping out of that top 5. They only need to draw against Everton. As long as Chelsea beat Forest and Villa beat United, yeah, Newcastle drawing with Everton. You watch it. United need to be smart and sign players like Hayden Hackney. I think they need better than Hayden Hackney. They need to sort the finances and they need to see what they can actually do here. This is great play by Napoli. Here's McTominay. Smashed away by Cagliari. It's already looking desperate for Cagliari here. They've barely got a touch on the ball. Tom, I think get rid of the lot besides Ahmad, De Ligt, Bruno and Garnacho. Bruno and Garnacho are definitely going, it's looking like. Garnacho 1,000,000%. Bruno, I think, it depends what offer comes in. I think for 31 years old, I'm not sure Bruno Fernandes goes for any more than maybe 50 or 60 million. And even then, I'm not sure there's a team in Europe that sees Bruno Fernandes at 60 million quid as good value. Do you? Do you seriously think that Bruno Fernandes goes for any more than that? And 60 million quid, United might as well keep him because he's that good, isn't he? You'd want to keep hold of him. But he's 31 years old. So, doesn't seem that he wants to go to Saudi. He wants to stay in Europe. And for me, unless Barcelona were to sell maybe Dani Olmo, which is they're potentially talking to City to sell Dani Olmo, then, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Bruno Fernandes has got really anywhere to go. I don't think Real Madrid don't need him. Bellingham plays there. Bellingham's better than him. So where's he going to go? The real Michael Jackson, I'd love to see McTominay win a trophy while Man U are in shambles. Well, we think Anthony's probably going to do the same against Chelsea in the Conference League final for Betis. We're live for that one as well. We're going to be watching a watch along for that as well. So looking forward to that. Be yourself, Dylan. An Inter draw and a Napoli loss would mean a playoff. Would it really? Are you sure? An Inter draw and a Napoli loss. Yerry Mina at the back here for Cagliari as well, by the way. It's a free kick to Cagliari. Opportunity for them to whip a ball into the box. I'll keep you updated on the Inter game as well, by the way, just to let you know how that one's going. It's still 0-0 in Como. Did we do the lineups for this one? I don't think we did we? Cagliari with the ball in. Chance. Cleared away. Yeah, it's Meret in goal for Napoli. Di Lorenzo, Romani, Oliveira and Spinazzola at the back. Politano, Anguissa, Gilmour and McTominay in midfield. And then it's Raspadori and Lukaku up front. For Cagliari, it's Sherry in goal, Luperto, Mina and Zappa at the back. Augello on the left, Zortea on the right. Deola, Makumbu and Adopo in midfield, and then it's Piccoli and Viola up front. Roberto Piccoli. Football fan, this one can happen in Serie A. If Napoli lose an Inter draw right now, because goal difference doesn't matter in Serie A. Ooh, I thought it would have been head-to-head then. If teams finish on equal points at the end of the season, head-to-head matches will be the tiebreaker. So what's the head-to-head matches? How did Napoli and Inter get on this season? (1-1). Napoli and Inter, 1-1, and what else was the other one? 1-1, both of them. Oh, well, it will be then, won't it? It will be. It'll actually be a playoff. There you go. Newcastle met Liam Delap this week, says Jake Curtin. I know you say no chance, but clearly there's something in it. Mate, there's no way that Delap is... That just makes me think even more that Newcastle might sell Alexander Isak. Do you think for 1 second that Delap goes to Newcastle if Isak is still there? It ain't happening. There's just no way that's happening. No way. Great ball in. Napoli. Chance. Oh, must be. Oh, over the bar. Big chance there for Napoli. Should be 1-0. I think it was Billy Gilmour who got into the box, and then I think it was Politano who fired it over on the rebound. But Billy Gilmour driving Napoli forward. Billy Gilmour and Scott McTominay in midfield. Who'd have thought that? Who'd have thought it? Unbelievable start. Alex, best Sunderland player this season? Probably Isidore, I would say. Maybe Isidore. User 111000907. United need to score goals. No need to buy defenders, only a goalkeeper, striker and 10s. They need a midfielder as well. They need a midfielder. They can't keep playing. Look at that in the big game, the final. They've ended up playing Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes is the midfield. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. They got ran off the pitch. They got absolutely ran off the pitch by Spurs. HR, Bruno's throwing his toys out the pram. Alex, how are the lads? Jake Curtin. No club said a couple of weeks ago they believe he can play alongside Isak as well as rotate. He isn't going to play alongside Isak, mate. There's no way that Liam Delap is playing alongside Isak. He's not a wide player, neither's Isak. And he's not going to play unless Eddie Howe goes to a 4-4-2. I'd be astonished. HR, Sunderland will be rock bottom if they get promoted. The Blades are winning tomorrow. I think so too, sadly. I think Sunderland are the team that I want to win, but I think Sheffield United probably get it done. And if I'm dead honest, mate, I think Sheffield United finish rock bottom of the Premier League as well. So, yeah, I don't think it's a particularly big thing for them either. They'll get up and they'll finish bottom as well. User 111000907. Talking football is the best thing in life, even if it's arguing ball. I totally agree, and that's why you should follow, mate, because you've been very, very Even though we've disagreed, you've been very respectful. Hopefully you feel that I have as well, even though we've disagreed. So that's all good. The real Michael Jackson, yeah, it'll be a playoff, even if they're level on points, right? Okay. Alex, Sunderland take over everywhere they go. AM10, would you sell Luis Diaz? Would I sell Luis Diaz? I think I would sell Luis Diaz. If we got the right offer for him, yeah, he's a very good player. But I would go and get Rodrigo from Real Madrid. That would be the one I would look at. But yeah, I personally would rather keep Luis Diaz. But if the right offer comes in, if a really big offer comes in, then I think he's maybe worth keeping. I really like Hayden Hackney a lot. Can see a Champions League side going for him. No, come on, don't be saying that. Who do you support, mate? Who do you support with a statement like that? Are you a Borough fan? You can't be a Borough fan. They just need John McGinn now. HR United need open heart surgery. They're so bad. Yeah, but they needed that open heart surgery. What was it, 2-3 years ago when Ranić told them about it? Like, they've since gone out and spent another £300 million on crap. So the club is just useless top to bottom. I saw that today. Do you know Man United's share price? Jim Ratcliffe bought Manchester United for 33p a share. It's currently 13p a share. It's like fallen by more than half since he bought the club. The value of the club has at least halved. It's it's like 60-70%, isn't it, actually, that's dropped. Unbelievable. Alex, which of our Sunderland players do you think would cope in the Prem? I think there's quite a few, yeah. I think Rigg is a very talented young player. I think he deserves more time. I'd be interested to see how Bellingham gets on. Good ball in. Napoli. Chance here. Maybe. Must be. Good save by the keeper. Sherry keeps it out. Napoli go again. McTominay. Cagliari living very dangerously here. They're they're on the edge. Napoli are just fighting to get this first goal. Can't see anything other than a Napoli win. They've absolutely battered him in the first 15 minutes here. James, how are you? Good to see you, mate. Jake, why not accept Newcastle want to build a team and know they need a backup for Isak? It's not that I'm not accepting it, mate. The backup for Isak thing doesn't make sense for Liam Delap. If you're Liam Delap, put your Newcastle bias aside, right? You're Liam Delap. You are being offered multiple opportunities at different clubs. Newcastle aren't the only club offering Liam Delap an opportunity. If you get offered Newcastle for me would be maybe 5th or 6th choice if I know that Isak is staying there. Because Newcastle only play with one centre forward. If Delap goes there, there's no way he's getting played. He's gonna be on the bench most of the time. That's the worst decision he could make for his career, is going to Newcastle. He'd be better off going to somewhere like maybe Villa, if Ollie Watkins is leaving, because he looks like he might be. Or even going to an Everton. Everton would be a better move than Newcastle for Liam Delap. Because at least he'd start every game. He'd be the best player at the club. HR, bro, is 20 comments behind. Mate, they're flying in. I don't know I can't keep up. Eddie Howe at times does put 2 up front. He does put 2 up front, you're right, but how often? How often does he put 2 up front? Delap knows Isak won't be there forever. Delap will for a long time. 1 step back, 2 steps forward. Honestly, the worst move he could make is to Newcastle. Worst move he could make. Unless Isak is going. If Isak's going, then fine. Sonny Marco 09, is this a Napoli watch-along thing? It certainly is, yes. It's still 0-0 for what it's worth, and if you want to go and check it out on YouTube, we've got a clock, we've got a scoreboard, we've got goal animations as and when they go in. It's a bit more of a professional setup over there. We've got a better camera, better audio setup on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, etc. Premier League Dad, go and give us a search, go and give us a follow. Live every single day with watch-alongs on this channel. Jova J, Diaz is going. I hope not. Jake, think if Newcastle get Champions League, they need another striker. Isak's form dips on 3 game weeks. You do need another striker, but I think Liam Delap is not that striker. the striker that Newcastle can get is probably not a striker that's as in demand as Liam Delap is. I think I'd be very surprised if Delap went there. Put it that way. Listen, I could be wrong, and maybe at the end of the season we'll have that conversation. But I'd be very, very surprised if in the summer we're talking about Newcastle having Delap and Isak on rotation. I'd be very surprised, especially because I think, to be honest, there's still a part of me that thinks Newcastle are in the Europa League next season as well. HR, you need right back. I think you should sign Trent. Jova J, Hackney is Championship level. He's not Champions League level. Maybe he is better than the Championship, but he ain't Champions League level. The real Michael Jackson. Anything less than 80 million for Lucho, and it's a nope. Albert, yo fam, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Jay, open heart surgery with an unqualified surgeon. Jacob UTV, Napoli only need John McGinn now to complete that midfield. McGinn, Gilmore, McTominay, and oh yeah, the Scottish heart of the Naples midfield. HR, if I was Irish, I'd say that was 33%, now 13%. But it's 33 pence, not percent. Edward, Kieran, what's your thoughts on the Wirtz deal? I'm not sure, mate. I'm still undecided. I think for 150 million quid, it's a very, very big deal. It's impressive. It's impressive because he's one of the best players in the world. He's one of the best young players in the world in his position. So it's a statement signing. But I think for 150 million quid, he's going to have to be bang on it, isn't he? He's going to have to be a real difference maker. And I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Also, Ange isn't expected to be Spurs manager next season. Ange is definitely Spurs manager next season. Again, it's a nonsense. There's absolutely no way that Ange isn't Spurs manager next season. The real Michael Jackson, Liam Delap is overrated in my opinion. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Great chat. I'll be back in the future. Enjoy your night. I'm a Brentford fan and I have followed. Cheers, mate. Good to see you. Hey, and I like Brentford as well. We've talked a lot about Thomas Frank and how good they've been this season. We've had big compliments for Johan Wisser and Brian and Burmo and Mikkel Damsgaard. Top club, Brentford. Marwan, good to see you, Marwan. I hope Napoli will win the Serie A. I think they might do. It's looking like it. Napoli are playing very, very well tonight. HR, that's a good Irish accent, bro. 13%. 13%. You're gonna win nothing. Wisser better than Delap. Yes, I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. HR man is up to date. Job, my man. Listen, it takes time to catch. I'm trying to catch two. I've got TikTok here, and I've got YouTube and Twitch and X and Instagram and everything over here. So I'm like constantly bouncing. It's 1-0 to Inter Milan though. It's 1-0 to Inter Milan. Let's switch over to the other side. Let's see what's going on in Como. Inter Milan have scored. Who is it who scored? Who is it? It's Stefan de Vrij off a corner. And it's a great header. It's a wonderful header. And as it stands, Inter Milan are winning the Scudetto. Woo! User 11100907. Yep, they've been top this season. Only Bayern, PSG and us have a front three, all on double-digit goals. I didn't know that. Ben, I really don't want Wirtz. Why not? Why don't you want him? The only reason I'm a little bit hesitant is because I'm sort of behaving like an accountant with it and looking at it and going, 150 million euros for that, you could definitely get, a little bit, you could get a little bit better. You could maybe get a 75 million and an 80 million or something like that. You could go out and get some couple of decent players, couple of top players, instead of just one allegedly exceptional player. Ben, don't want to distract from Sobbo, and the fee is pathetic. I mean, it takes time. I guess we'll see how he adapts. I think he's going to end up playing wide left. Marwan, do you have a subscription for Serie A? No, this is on TNT Sports, Marwan. So you can watch it on TNT Sports 2 for Como and Inter Milan, TNT Sports 1 for Napoli and Cagliari. But I have got a lot of football subscriptions, to be honest. I have La Liga TV, I have Premier Sports, I have Liga Pass, I have the Bundesliga Pass as well. And I've got Peacock as well, so you can get on pretty much anything with those. I'm gonna have to try and find a way to watch. I think it's live online somewhere. We're watching the King's Cup final on the 29th. The King's Cup final, Al Ittihad against Al Qadsiya in the Saudi King's Cup. Just to keep up our pledge of doing a live watch along every single day on this channel, we're scraping the barrel a little bit as we get to the end of the season, because there's some days where there's just no footy on. So we're doing Jamaica against Trinidad and Tobago, which is in the Unity Cup at Brentford. We're going to do that one, an international game. That's on the 27th. And on the 29th, we're doing Al Ittihad against Al Qadsiya in the in the King's Cup, the Saudi King's Cup. User 111000907. I'm going to change my username to Mason. My name, that feels easier. All right, mate. No worries, Mason. Ben feels like we're going to get him. It does. Yeah, 150 million, too much for one player. Okay. Come on, you Spurs. Get in there. Absolutely made up with how Spurs played there. Marwan, I'm not from the UK, mate. I watch it on an app. Oh, right, okay. The numbers are getting crazy. 80 million for Nicholas Pepe started it all off. This mess. Jacob, how about Hong Kong versus Man U? Oh, mate, Christ, I don't fancy... I think Man U might get turned over there by Hong Kong. Zach Clips, do you not have any better things to be doing than on TikTok all day? Get a girl. Mate, I've got a wife and a little girl. I've got 2 girls. The last thing I need is another girl. Jesus Christ, I can't manage with 2. My wife and my little girl are enough. I can't have any more. And I'm not on TikTok and YouTube all day, only when there's footy on a night. But I am on it every day. We do watch-alongs every single day on this channel. So yeah, you've caught me. I am sad for watching a lot of football. I'm definitely sad, and I definitely watch a lot of football. Real Michael Jackson, Pepe, is he still playing? He is, he's at Villarreal. No, Nicholas Pepe is at Villarreal. He might be in the Champions League next season. Yeah, he played quite well, actually, you know. Played quite well this season, Nicholas Pepe. HR, give him some respect. He likes football. Is that a crime? Oh, mate, listen, thank you for saying that, but you really don't. Just leave him be. Just leave him be. They're not actually having a pop at me. They're really just sad people who say things. It's a reflection more on them than it is me. So I don't take it personally. Anyone who comes onto an app and starts saying things to some random stranger is, trust me, not a very happy person deep down. So I just pity him. I just feel sorry for him. HR, is he in La Liga? I didn't know he was in the Spanish league. Yeah, he's playing right wing for Villarreal. Funnily enough, with Eric Bailly of Manchester United in central defence. Plus Willy Camboala, another ex-Man United defender. But yeah, there's quite a few United players and ex-Premier League players doing well in La Liga. And evidently in Serie A, we're watching it right now. McTominay, Billy Gilmore, Lukaku, Anguissa. Some very, very talented players. Or at least talented as Serie A would have you believe, anyway. But yeah, it's still 0-0 here. Excuse me. Napoli, 26 minutes in. We've got Cagliari, Napoli, Como still losing 1-0 to Inter Milan. Did it go down as an own goal, that one, in the end? No, Stefan de Vrij got the goal. Çalhanoğlu with the assist. Okay. HR, yeah, Anguissa, good player. I support Fulham. He was a decent player when he was at ours. Oh, right, you're a Fulham fan. Nice. Bit disappointed with how you lads finished the season, I've got to be honest. I was really kind of rooting. I thought Marco Silva's done really well with you, but I was kind of rooting for you to push on and maybe get Champions League football, because you wasn't that far away from, certainly from Champions League, maybe even Europa League, but you know, there was a good chance with Fulham to kick on, and it just feels like the end of the season's been a real letdown for you, hasn't it? Yeah, lost some momentum. Still a very talented side, though. I think there's some players in that Fulham team, I think, excellent, really, really top players, but then you've got a few that just, like, I don't know if it's quite worked out with Emile Smith-Rowe. Yeah, there's some, but Marco Silva's definitely getting the best out of him. Hotspur Army 1882, our trophy is home, safe and sound. Really looking forward to Spurs bantering Arsenal next season about the lack of a European Cup. Jacob UTV 2010, Inter have the second best history in Italy. I don't know if they're going to win the Scudetto tonight, though. That's going to be the main thing. By the way, the 8th place would get Conference League. Well, as it stands, yes. Assuming Chelsea win the Europa Conference League against Betis. If the Europa Conference League is won by Chelsea, then what happens is 7th place, which is currently going to get a Conference League place, that they would get a Europa League place, and then 8th would get a Conference League place. So 8th currently looks like it could be between Brentford, Bournemouth, Brighton, right? Is that right? Yeah, Brentford, Bournemouth and Brighton. Actually, I think Bournemouth are out of it altogether now, so isn't it just Brentford and Brighton? I think it's just Brentford and Brighton, isn't it? Left. HR, yeah, ESR needs his pre-season, I think. He's had no pre-season when we signed him, right? Hopefully next season. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Marco Silva next season, because there's a part of me that thinks he might even, is he going to stick it out and see it through to the end with Fulham, or because I think if there are, if there's going to, well, look, there's definitely going to be managers who move on next season, isn't there? And it maybe Ange Postecoglou starts poorly, and he maybe gets binned off by Spurs. Maybe, you never know. But it feels like if Spurs, here we go. There might be a red card here. For Cagliari. Something just happened off the ball there. A Napoli player went down. This could be a red card. Yerry Mina giving it the big un. We know what he's like. He used to do that at Everton. Yerry Mina could be getting a red card here. Someone's getting a red card, I think. Politano's having a word with the ref. Napoli players are absolutely raging. The ref is calling Yerry Mina over to him, I think, here. This could be a red card. He's insistent that one of them comes back to him. Who is it? I don't think it is. No, it's not Yerry Mina. It's Makumbu who's come over. Yerry Mina was the one who was the mouthiest, definitely. But it's a yellow card for Makumbu, yellow card for Politano, nothing else. Well refereed, that. Well refereed. HR, we can get it. Can Fulham still get it? All right, okay. That was a dive. That was a proper dive, that. Hotspur Army, I'm going to love the banter with Arsenal next season. HR Fulham, 1 point behind the Bees. And who's Fulham got at the weekend? Let's have a look at the fixtures at the weekend, actually, because I really should be ahead of this, because it's my job. But I really should know the fixtures off the top of my head, but I really don't. So, Premier League. Brentford have got Wolves away, tough one. Fulham have got City. You're not beating City. You're not beating City at Craven Cottage, mate. And I don't think Brighton are beating Spurs. But then again, Brighton have got a 3. Brighton only need a point. Do you know what? That's what's going to happen. It's going to be Brighton who get it, because Brighton are going to draw with Spurs, and that draw is going to be enough to take Spurs from 17th to 16th above Man United, because United are going to get beat by Villa. So Spurs will draw, and United will get beat off Villa, and United go to 17th. That's what's going to happen. Calling it now. I think City probably get a point at Craven Cottage. They're not bothered. They've already got Champions League footy. Jake, some really good managers in the Prem at the minute. Your Glasners, Pereiras, Hurzeler. Yeah, and do you know what? And this is why I'm really, really frustrated as well. With how Man United fans are behaving towards Ruben Amorim, almost like this loyalist sort of He needs time. He's still a fantastic man. Like, look at what Moyes inherited at Everton. Look at what Pereira inherited at Wolves. Neither of them had any sort of good squad. They all had players who were crap. Still had managers from, players who were signed from multiple systems, from different managers and all this sort of stuff. And they came in and they turned those players into performances. They had really good performances, good runs where they made them difficult to beat. Ruben Amorim came into a Manchester United side that was 12th. He's about to get him finishing 17th and trophyless. They had 30 points in December, Manchester United. They're on 39. 5 months later in May. 39. What is going on? Hotspur Army, I've always loved Ange and see the parade and the fans behind Ange again. It's needed. Yeah. The real Michael Jackson, please. Kieran Baines, just random Michael Ballack came to mind for some reason, but wasn't he a player? He was a player, yeah. I really liked Michael Ballack. He knocked Liverpool out of the Champions League for Bayer Leverkusen. Absolutely battered us. There's something going on here on the pitch. I'm not entirely sure what, but the game has been stopped dead for about 6 minutes. 7 minutes, it feels like. What on earth is going on? What on earth is going on here? 9 points in 5 months, that's mental. Yeah, 30 points in December, 39 in May. That's some going, innit? That is some going for Man United. Right, something has happened, I don't know what, but the referee has now blown to get the game back underway. But for some reason, the game was stopped. Hotspur Army 1882, Spurs draw to Brighton, I don't mind. Yeah, again, it'll get you above United, won't it? It'll get you above United, and that's all you need. The timer stopped. There you go. Thanks, Kieran. We're back. The timer's back working again. I think it was only because it funnily enough, stopped at about the same time the game actually stopped. So we've not missed anything. There's going to be about 9 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. It's a free kick to Napoli here. Hotspur Army 1882. Ange said in a series the third season is better than the second. And yeah, I called that even before the Europa final. I'm not going to blow my own trumpet here, but I did say before the Europa final, there was plenty of people saying Ange is going to get sacked and all this. And I said, no. I'm calling it now. Whatever happens, even if Spurs get beat, I honestly think that Spurs will get in and around the top 6 next year. They're a very, very solid side. They've got a good core of players there that if they keep them fit, they've got a good quality side. So I fully expect we'll see Spurs get back to around about the area of the table where we'd normally see them. Something happened again here. The player's been stopped again. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is going on. Marek, show us the video. Can't do it, mate. We get banned. I don't know why we keep stopping here. The referee just keeps randomly stopping the game. Has anyone got commentary on so they can tell me what's actually going on here? I'm having a quick listen to the commentary. I'm assuming maybe it's just a VAR. Maybe it's just a long VAR decision, but feels excessive. Aaron, for some reason my TikTok doesn't show you on my follows or anything anymore. I can't see you when you're live. Mate, you need to get on YouTube, Aaron. You need to get on YouTube. Get over to YouTube. It's much better on YouTube. What game are you watching? We're watching Napoli against Cagliari, mate. Napoli against Cagliari. Hotspur Army 1882. Ange isn't going anywhere for a good few years. Jacob, is this the Napoli watch-along? It is, yeah. Kuram, ever since Man United lost, I haven't got out of bed. Oh, Kuram. It's been a rough few days to be a Man United fan. Jake, Toon in December was 12th. Chelsea have done the same as Man U, was second with 12 points on. Hotspur Army, they keep stopping the game to watch the parade, but they have no idea it's over. Scouse House, was there a red card, mate? No, there wasn't a red card. There was a check for a red card, but but it was a storm in a teacup. It was one of them where the player kind of like puts his hand in the player's face, but like literally just rests it, and the player goes like, oh, like he's been shot. So he was down for a long time. But to corner to Napoli here, header, side netting. It's going to be a goal kick, Cagliari. Matthew, what's the score? It's Napoli 0, Cagliari 0, and as it stands, Inter Milan are going to win the Serie A title because they are 1-0 up against Como. So yeah, as it stands, Inter are cruising to the title. Jacob, I think the same thing is happening that happened at the London Stadium, West Ham v Forest. What happened? Scouse House, I need Napoli and Betis for 160. Yeah, I think I've got Napoli as well in this one. Right, we've got Inter Milan, Heidenheim, Club America. What else have we missed tonight? Inter Milan. Oh no, I had an absolute shocker. That keeper is making me mad, man. 12 minutes VAR check at the London Stadium, West Ham. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Jake, my five-a-side footy team name back in the day was called Into Your Mum, Don't Kick Me. HR, I reckon, fancy them to beat PSG. You think Inter will beat PSG? No, I don't. I think it's PSG's title. Hotspur Army 1882. Inter win the title in Champions League, then lose to Spurs in the Super Cup. Well, here's another little omen for you. If you haven't already seen on my profile, I did a video about this. But in 1972, Tottenham Hotspur played in an all-English European final. They played Wolverhampton Wanderers in the UEFA Cup final in 1972. Tottenham won. The year after, Liverpool won the European Cup in 1973. 2025, Tottenham win the UEFA Cup in an all-English final. 2026, Liverpool are winning the UEFA Cup. Well, the European Cup, we can't win the UEFA Cup, but we're winning the European Cup. It's happening. It's on. Arne Slot's Reds in Budapest. I've booked my flights already. Scouse House, Romano's released a post on Vert. It's looking very good. Oh yeah. Finn, 4447. Hi, I'm back from Spain now. Good to see you, Finn. How you doing, mate? The real Michael Jackson. Imagine Spurs winning the Super Cup and the FIFA World Cup. Jake, I'm sick of predicting Inter to lose in the Champions League. They keep winning. PSG looks so good, though. HR, Inter will do Mourinho and park the bus, play an absolute stinker and then get a goal. Yeah, I mean, how they got through against Barca, I'll never know. I will never know. I'll never quite understand it. Napoli, play a ball to the edge of the box here. Hotspur Army 1882. Liverpool next season can win the Champions League, just not against us again. Oh, what a goal! Is that Scott McTominay again? Is it fucking? Is it his as well? Scott McTominay has just scored an overhead kick, an absolute worldie. What a goal from Scott McTominay! Let's get the old goal animation on YouTube. Goal animation, Napoli 1-0. What a goal, Scott McTominay. That man again. Man United sold him. They sold him. What a goal! Scott McSauce. McSauce has just smashed it in. Overhead kick. Trevor Sinclair-esque. at the Maradona Stadium, and it's erupted. Yerry Mina is just... He's crying. Yerry Mina's crying. And it's Napoli 1, Cagliari 0. Napoli are going to win the Scudetto. And Scott McTominay, McSauce, is going to be lifting it. Scott McMaradona. What position does McTom play for Napoli? Everywhere. Everywhere. But he's just... Honestly, the goal is sensational. He's whipped it in. Who is it who's put the ball in? Is it Politano from the right-hand side? He crosses it in. McTominay is about on the penalty spot. And he just acrobatically just kind of shoves the defender off, holds him off, gets a little half yard of space. And it's a bicycle kick into the floor, down the centre of the goal, past the keeper. Unstoppable. Great goal from Scott McTominay. And that's 1-0 Napoli. And I think if there is a goal that wins the title, that wins the Scudetto, that deserves it. What an absolute wonder goal that is from McTominay. Brilliant. Another kick for United to the nuts. Yes. Oh, the Mancs are in the mud. You can't even see. There's that much blue smoke in the arena now. The camera is all fogged up. You can barely see what's going on. I'm glad McTominay isn't at United. Honestly, he has really kicked on at Napoli. I know people say, "Oh yeah, Serie A, you know, it's a farmers' league or whatever. It's nowhere near as good." But I'll tell you something. He's thriving. He's thriving. He's a better player. He's a better all-round player. He's still got the same energy that he had before, but he's arriving in the box late. He's added a different element to his game. He's so much better. HR, is the title all on this game? Pretty much, yeah. If Napoli win, they've won the title. If Napoli draw and Inter win, then Inter have won the title. But Inter do need Napoli to slip up. And as I say, as it stands, Napoli have got it in the bag. It is all going off here, though. There's arguments galore between the Cagliari bench and the Napoli bench. The players are getting all a little bit feisty. They're going to show this goal back again. It's some finish. It really is. Great ball in. McTominay, unbelievable finish. Scouse House got to love it, Key. Yes, lad, love it. Serie A is a very good league. It's a very entertaining league, yeah. Whichever way you want to dress it up, it is a very, very entertaining league. Football fan, what a goal, man. Yeah. It was brilliant. You literally, honestly, I wish you could see this. If you're watching on TNT, I wish you could see it. You can't see the ball. You can't see the pitch in the left-hand side of the pitch. Where the goal was scored, you can't see it. It's just blue smoke covering the entire pitch. And you can maybe just see the electronic advertising boards in the distance. Heaven forbid we don't get those in. Hotspur Army, no matter where you go, they're professional players for a reason. Absolutely, yeah, totally agree. Will Bridgeau, up the hammers, up the irons. How do you think West Ham get on next season, Will? Intrigued to see how they get on with Graham Potter next season. Right, I think the ball is in the box here with Napoli, but we can't see. We can't see for love nor money. You can't even see what's going on. I wish I could comment and tell you where the ball is, but you physically cannot see it. Finners, why does the playoff finals kick off at 3:01? It's because of a every minute counts initiative. It's basically to support. Remember Tom Lockyer? Tom Lockyer, the Luton, I think he's the Luton captain, isn't he? Who went down, he collapsed due to his heart. He had a heart issue, collapsed in the Championship playoff final, 23-24 season. He collapsed with his heart. He went off the pitch. And he ended up collapsing again, and they had to, operate and do all sorts to get him back. He managed to come back. He played 15 games in the Premier League, and then he hasn't really kicked a ball since. He's only 30 years old. Obviously, his career's pretty much done now because of this heart condition. But he started a charity called Every Minute Counts, and because it's the playoff weekend, all of the playoffs are starting at 1 minute past the hour. To remember everyone and identify that every minute counts. That basically when someone drops down with the heart, if you get to them and get a defibrillator on them and all this sort of stuff, within a minute, you've got a better chance of keeping them alive. Again, have a look into it, but that's what it's about anyway. The real Michael Jackson, Potter will be sacked by Christmas. I hope they stick with Graham Potter. I hope they stick with him, because I think again, it's one of them where if they can give him time, then I think he'll do well. And he went into a team, Lopetegui had them probably one of the worst defences in the Premier League, didn't they? I think there was the second or third worst defence in the Prem when he took over, and all of a sudden he's coming and actually they're able to keep clean sheets. They picked up some good results, not so good results as well, but I think the criticism of Graham Potter's wide of the mark. He's not been playing with a striker for most of the season because his centre forward got in a car crash. There's some things you just can't really legislate for, and I feel a little bit of sympathy for Graham Potter. Bobby De Gaulle, name me a club who's had a massive decline in recent years. A massive decline in recent years. Portsmouth. Yeah, Portsmouth would be a massive decline. They were a European club, playing in Europe. They had Ronaldinho at Fratton Park in the late 2000s. And all of a sudden, yeah, they're in the Championship. They were in League One, weren't they? They'd really dropped down. Will Bridgeau, I don't know. I'm not fully convinced. Let a lot of players go, so it depends on the transfer window. That's fair enough. Hotspur Army 1882. West Ham to finish mid-table next season. They've got a good group of players, West Ham. In terms of Bowen, Kudus, if they can keep him. I think Souček's a talented player. I really like Wan-Bissaka. I think there's a lot to like about Kilman. It depends what happens with Paqueta, maybe Soler as well. They definitely need some extra players in there, but I think there's a lot to like about, again, your Bowens, your Kuduses, your Součeks, Alvarez. They've got some quality, haven't they? HR, this is the most watched game apart from the Champions League final. I like the message. This is the most watched game. Is it really? Hotspur Army, Callum talks on football. Kieran, who's the centre-back you'd like us to sign? Ooh, do you know what? There's a part of it I'd quite like to sign Jared Branthwaite just for the bants. Just for the absolute fury that would erupt across the blue part of Merseyside. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how Jared Branthwaite got on. If not Jared Branthwaite, maybe someone like Mark Gay from Palace. I think he's had a very good season. Actually, no, not Mark Gay. Mark Gay's not good enough for Liverpool. Right, there you go. It's half time. Yeah, I don't know, mate. Since we've lost Dean Hyson, it feels like there's not an awful lot of quality there in terms of young, top quality centre backs. You'd look at players like Luke Aber. Luke Aber I think was a very, very good player, or is a very good player, but he's not been as strong this season. Castillo, Luke Aber. We're not going to go out there and get your Pau Cabasis and all them. Maybe Bastoni. I wonder if we could go and tempt Bastoni. Be yourself, Dylan. Como down to 10 men. Are they really? Well, look, it's all on Napoli then, isn't it? It's all on Napoli. The Como goalkeeper's been sent off. Jacob UTV. Arteta always wins trophies in his 7th season. Hotspur Army 1882. I remember Lockyer. It was similar to Ericsson. It was, yeah. Robert Anderson, Europa League, ole ole. Nice. HR, I love talking football. We can never have no subject to talk about. This is it. And this is why I started this channel, mate, because it feels like there's always something. And we've always got a game on in the background. We do a watch-along every single day. We only started the channel, I started it in January. We're up to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, growing really quickly. But yeah, we talk about football, all sorts of football, transfer news, what's going on in off the pitch, charity initiatives, the Tom Lockyer Foundation, all that sort of thing, who you want your club to sign, who your club's going to sell, predictions for next season, predictions for the weekend, who's got the best kit. We've had all that as well. Scouse House, you're forgetting United, Key. I can't help myself. Yeah. Well, United felt like the obvious one, mate. United felt like the obvious one. Hotspur Army, 1882. Massive decline in recent years. Leicester. Yeah, well, I think that would be unfair on Leicester, because I don't think Leicester were ever really a title-winning side, were they? Leicester were never really a title-winning side. They won the title, but then they immediately sold all the best players. Mahrez went, Kante went, Drinkwater. I know he wasn't, but he was one of their best players. But they sold the best players, and that team kind of fell apart. Fuchs got old, and Morgan got old and injured, and Okazaki and Yajoa, they kind of left. There's a few players who just didn't quite kick on at Leicester when they signed him as well. Islam Slimani came in. But yeah, I think Portsmouth's fall was much bigger than Leicester's. HR, the playoff final, the minute past 3, Oh, right, okay. HR, FA Cup final, playoff final, Champions League final, all get huge numbers. Yes, definitely. Okazaki and Yajoa, that's it, Foster. Yeah, absolutely. JP, who do you think wins the playoffs to Moz? Well, we are live for him. We're going to be live an hour and a half before kick-off. I'm really hoping that Sunderland can do it. But I still think Sheffield United will, just about, sadly. Yeah. Foster, Andy King. Yeah, let's name some random Leicester players from that group. Richie the Lat. Who was the backup keeper for Leicester that year? Was it still Danny Ward? It wasn't Danny Ward. Was it who won the league with Leicester? They had Kasper Schmeichel. Who was the backup keeper? Was it Ron Robert Zieler? Ron Robert Zieler. I don't know why that's in my head. I'm going to Google it now. But that's the name I'm going with before it gets checked. Before it goes to VAR. Leicester squad 2015-16, was it? Or was it 2016-17? No, it's 2015-16. Right, okay. Leicester squad. Yeah, Kasper Schmeichel. Christian Fuchs. Jeffrey Schlupp. Demarai Gray. What, is Demarai Gray still in Saudi? Yeah, he's at El Ettifaq still, isn't he? Gökhan Inler. Nathan Dyer. Daniel Amati. Kramaric. Chilwell. Chilwell played 3 games in the year that Leicester won the league title. Ben Hamer, Matty James, Liam Moore, Tom Lawrence, Mark Schwarzer. Mark Schwarzer was the backup goalkeeper for Leicester that year. How could we have not got that right? Christ. Mark Schwarzer. He's been everywhere, that lad. Do you know what? The 5th highest goal scorer. Here's a question, right? The 5th highest goal scorer for Leicester City in the season that they won the league scored 4 goals, and they were all in the League Cup. Didn't score a single goal in the Premier League, but scored a lot in the League Cup for him, and that was enough to make him the 5th highest scorer for Leicester in the title, maybe their most famous winning side ever. And I would be amazed if you knew his name. I would be absolutely amazed if you knew his name. Obviously, you had Jamie Vardy, then Riyad Mahrez, then Okazaki, then Ajoa, and then this guy. Is he still playing? He is. He is still playing. He's 29 now. G. Lawrence, 94. Liverpool have supposedly entered the race for Gyökeres. You don't rate him though, remember? Yeah, I don't rate him. You're right. Liverpool, I will stick with that opinion. I don't believe that Liverpool are going in for Gyökeres, but if we do, yes, I still don't rate him. Hotspur Army 1882. I feel for Kulu. He couldn't go to the parade because of his injury. Wow. Lucky. Native Wolf 1967. Is that with Brendan Rodgers? Yes. No. With Ranieri. The year they won it with Ranieri. Benji Smith. Ayoze Perez. Nope. Ayoze Perez was the... Ayoze Perez didn't even get a goal. I don't think he was there. Ayoze Perez was the year after, wasn't he? He was still at Newcastle when Leicester won it. So yeah, Ayoze Perez didn't get a goal. Nope, not Huth. Huth is the 6th top scorer for Leicester that season. It goes Huth, he got 3. Danny Drinkwater got 2. Wes Morgan got 2. Albrighton got 2. Ojoa got 6. And this person got 4. I'll tell you, Joe Doodoo. Joe Doodoo. He's now 29 and plays for Solihull Moors. But he never scored in the Premier League. But he scored 4 in the League Cup for him. Mad. Joe Doodoo. Played for England under 18s. He played for Wigan. He had a spell with Doncaster, Bolton. Played for Charlton, Blackpool. Played for Rangers for a spell as well. Went and played up for Rangers. Joe Doodoo. But now playing for Solihull Moors in the National League at 29 years old. What a fall from grace. Title winner, now playing for Solihull Moors, still in his 20s. Hotspur Army 1882. Who the hell is Doodoo? I don't know. Joe Doodoo. There you go. Morgan Rogers is the GOAT. Going to be a huge final day, to be honest. Our only hope comes from the Forest v Chelsea game. It doesn't, because I honestly think that Newcastle are going to drop points. I'm telling you. I think Chelsea beat Forest. You beat United. Newcastle drop points at home to Everton. Lee Oxley, Hull City linked with Albert Riera. Really? Albert Riera's had a very good season with Celje. Yeah, a very good season with Celje. Is that Pepe Reina? Is it Pepe Reina who's in goal for Como, by the way? It is as well. Pepe Reina's been sent off. I knew you told me the Como goalkeeper had been sent off, but I didn't think it was Pepe Reina. Oh, do you know what's really sad? That's his final ever game as well. His final ever game. He's retiring at the end of this season. Oh, Pepe Reina. Oh, what a wonderful player he was as well. What a wonderful goalkeeper. A Liverpool legend. Pepe Reina. Really sad to see him go out like that. Fabulous player. Jake, what's the scores in Serie A? It's Napoli 1, Cagliari 0. Scott McTominay with an unbelievable overhead kick. A fabulous overhead kick. And Inter Milan are 1-0 up against Como with Pepe Reina sent off. As it stands, Napoli are going to lift the Scudetto title at full time, unless Cagliari can nick an equaliser. If Cagliari can nick an equaliser, Inter Milan are a goal up and a man up in Como, so they'll probably win that one. So yeah, it's all very much now dependent on Cagliari doing a job on Napoli in the second half and getting a goal back. Benji Smith, Reina, yeah, red card. Sad to see that. Lee Oxley, Stuart Downing back with Liverpool Academy. Yeah, he's the head of recruitment, isn't he? Or he's coming as an international talent scout or something like that for Liverpool. Stuart Downing, of all people. Hey, there you go. Hotspur Army 1882. I've had 4 beers and bought 2 retro Spurs shirts, so I never run out now. I have 12 shirts. Nice. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat on YouTube. I've had to refresh it. Michael, the Como goalkeeper that was sent off against Inter in his final ever game, is Pepe Reina. Liverpool supporters will know him. Pepe got a standing ovation from his teammates and the crowd as he walked off. Yeah, very sad. Very sad. I think he's 42 years old, Pepe Reina, as well. Gravenberg enthusiast, all my life. Frimpong and Wirtz in the same window. We are cooking. Just casually going taking Leverkusen's best 2 players off him. We'll just have your best 2 players off you. No problem. Oh, yes. And do you know what? And they're delighted to sell to us as well because they don't want him going to Bayern. That makes a lot of sense. And even making it more sweet is it's Erik ten Hag who is about to be appointed the manager of Bayer Leverkusen as well. Erik ten Hag, ex-Man United, going in, selling good players to Liverpool. Oh, Jake, I fear for Leverkusen. All their players leaving and Ten Hag is their new manager. Listen, Leverkusen have built a team. They've built a club off their best players leaving. They always come back. They're a fabulous club, Leverkusen. Very, very well run. It wasn't that long ago that Bayern Munich came and pinched all of their best players. They pinched their 3 best players in basically the same window, or at least in the same 12-month period. Took Ziriberto, Lucio, and Michael Ballack off Leverkusen. They went to Bayern Munich, and Leverkusen bounced back, and they still had success. I think they got to... Did they win the DFB Pokal? I think they win the DFB Pokal. They got some really good players back in. They rebuilt a side, and they always had a very good side, Leverkusen, even after selling good players. So, look, I am absolutely sure they will still kick on and be a very top side without him. Gravenberg enthusiast, they all want to get off before Ten Hag gets there. Oh, hey, do you know what? Again, I think Ten Hag is going to be a lot like Scott McTominay in many ways, isn't he? You know, a lot like Anthony, a lot like various other people who leave Manchester United and all of a sudden gain a new lease of life back. You know, a new lease of life and start playing and enjoying their football again. And Ten Hag maybe enjoying management again. I think Ten Hag, he didn't become a bad manager overnight. Evidently, he got this Man United side to win an FA Cup, a League Cup, and got them back into Europe. So, either everyone at Manchester United is terrible, all the players are dreadful, in which case then Ten Hag didn't do a bad job, or the players are actually not that bad, and Ruben Amorim is terrible. But United fans won't admit which one that is. Michael, Dele Alli is one of the Como subs. He is, yeah. Again, that's a very sad tale, isn't it? Dele Alli. Strange what's happened to him. Really unfortunate. Jake, do you think Ange or Amorim will keep their job? I think both will be manager on day one of the Premier League season next season. Yeah, they'll both be there. And I think Amorim probably goes before Christmas. And I think Arteta won't be far behind him as well, by the way. I think Amorim, Arteta... I think Ange's job is far safer than any of theirs. Ange won't go anywhere for a long while now. He's earned a proper... Yeah, I can't see Ange going anywhere before the end of next season. Unless it looks like Spurs are going to be relegated. Doesn't matter what happens next season, Ange Postecoglou keeps his job. Guaranteed. Winning that and giving Spurs that memory, he ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. So Ange Postecoglou's absolutely fine. Amorim, yeah, danger. Arteta, danger. Potter, I think, is another one that could move on. I think Marco Silva could get poached. He could get tired. I think Thomas Frank as well could get tired and get poached at Brentford. So, interesting to see. They're probably the managers that I would say are most likely to leave. And obviously Enzo Maresca as well. And Enzo Maresca's always... That's part and parcel of being a Chelsea manager, isn't it? If you're the Chelsea manager... What's that water? Part and parcel of being the Chelsea manager is that it's a... Occupational hazard is that the job always might just be a few days away from being sacked. Rubes, good to see you, Rubes. How you doing, mate? Good to have you in the chat as always. HDFTBL, no matter what, United will always be the biggest club in the world. Okay. Someone's had too many martinis. Liverpool 192, and just done what Arteta couldn't in 5 years. HDFTBL, thanks for admitting, Scouser. I'm not a Scouser, mate. I'm not a Scouser. No. But again, no one really believes that. You know that, don't you? No one really believes that. I mean, whatever makes you sleep at night. If you want us to nod along and say, yeah, United are the biggest team in the world, mate, yeah. Like, we'll do it. It's fine. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable, mate. But that's... nobody really thinks that, sadly. Arteta always wins trophies in his 7th season, says Jacob. Michael, it shows you how bad Manchester United's transfer policy has been that they can let a goal-scoring midfielder like Scott McTominay go, yet he is just the sort of wholehearted player Man United need. Oh, that's a great... I love that comment, Michael. I totally agree. It is exactly that sort of energy and passion and legs that Scott McTominay brings, that Manchester United desperately needed on Wednesday night, isn't it? That's exactly what they needed against Spurs. Civil movement. If Napoli wins this, do they win Serie A? Yes, they do, mate. Yeah. They win Serie A if they win tonight, assuming... yeah, well, either way. If they win tonight, yeah, they win it. If they draw tonight, Inter can win it if they win in Como. And Inter Milan are currently beating Como 1-0. Plus Como had a man sent off. Michael, Kieran, did you like the new Champions League format last season? I did, yes, I did. I thought it was good, and I do think long term it benefits the other tournaments, the Europa League, the Europa Conference League, because indirectly what it'll do is it'll mean that the teams dropping out of the Champions League don't get to go into those competitions. So, like, it used to be, didn't it, that once the teams dropped out of the Champions League, they nearly always won the Europa League, and therefore the same with the Conference League. Now what will happen is we'll see, like this season, we'll see Bodo Glimt and Eintracht Frankfurt going really far in the Europa League. And in the Conference League, we had, teams like Celje and Fiorentina getting quite far to the end. So, yeah, it feels like... And even better, it feels like there's better opportunities for teams now, and those tournaments will be far more competitive as a result of not having teams drop out from one league to another, because it just it kind of deprioritises them all, doesn't it? Or it devalues them, not deprioritises, it devalues those tournaments, I think. Right, we are off. We are 45 minutes and 50 seconds into the game. Let me just get the clock all timed up. There you go. We're all synced up. Cagliari pushing forward, and Cagliari have got a corner straight away. Cagliari are going to push on and try and get this equaliser. If Cagliari get a goal back, then, oh my goodness me, the cat is amongst the pigeons yet again. Words to LFC, thoughts, says AM. Not the player that I would have gone for. Yeah, I'm excited because it's 150 million quid. But, yeah, it's a big call, isn't it? 150 million for one player. It's not really Liverpool behaviour, that. Rubes, don't lie. You're like, oh no, it's Rubes. No, I'm not. I love it when you come and liven the place up. Lee Oxley, see the England squad. See Tony got in. Surprised. No, I think Tony's a fabulous player. Again, I'm surprised that they've picked him given the fact that he's in Saudi, but evidently that doesn't really make a difference to Thomas Tuchel. It's interesting that he's not picked Phil Foden. AM, reckon he will be false 9. That's the thing. I don't think he'll be part of the midfield 3. He'll definitely be part of the front 3, whether that's as a false 9 or maybe playing wide left. Maybe Salah goes into the middle and he plays wide right. I don't know. But yeah, I think Florian Wirtz definitely plays as part of that front 3, not as the midfield 3. We will get cheaper. Bayern Leverkusen will give us a discount, I reckon 100 mil. I think it'll be closer to 100 mil, but I don't think it will be 100 mil. It looks like 150 is the number that they wanted from Bayern. Whether or not we get close to that, I don't know. Civil movement. I can't believe a former underrated striker like Lukaku wins Serie A today. And McTominay, mate. And Billy Gilmore. McTominay. You want to wait till you see McTominay's goal. It was unbelievable. Civil movement. People been bashing Lukaku, though, for years for being a big lump. I mean, he is a big lump. That's the sort of player he is. He's always been a player who puts himself about. He kind of bullies the opposition, but I feel like his physicality hasn't quite been as good in recent years. It feels like he has just lost that yard of pace, and he's not quite the Drogba, bullying players around like he was. He now feels a lot more Heskey in his later years. Do you know what I mean? Rather than Drogba, peak Drogba, he looks a lot more like a target man. Rather than a player who, at Lukaku's peak, he could play on the shoulder, couldn't he? You could knock a ball over the top and Lukaku would get in behind. It doesn't feel like he's that player anymore now. Daniel, Foden has asked not to be selected for England. Has he really? Why is that? I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about that. Foden asked not to be selected. Foden, England. Let's have a look. Foden makes England decision as Man City star bravely opens up on mental health. Oh, Christ, okay. I've struggled. Interesting. See, I should know that then. That was 2 days ago. I didn't see that. Apologies. Blimey. Well, again, and that's surprising, isn't it? That's really surprising because that probably, I would imagine, I mean, I don't know what the statement has said, but I would imagine the whole Pep Guardiola approach to playing him this season hasn't been right either. It's been a frustrating season for me. I've had a lot of things going off the pitch mentally. Oh, right, okay. Maybe Pep Guardiola's been shielding him a little bit as well then. This season I've struggled a little bit. Hopefully come next year I can get my head mentally right back. It's 2-0. And what have we just been saying about that man? What have we just been saying about that man, Lukaku? We've just been saying that he has absolutely no chance. When you play the ball in, he's not that type of player, I was saying. He doesn't do that sort of thing. You can't really do the playing it on, or he's not playing on the shoulder. Well, he's just shut me up. He's just shut me up because that's exactly the goal he's just scored. Oh, that's going to get clipped up. That's an absolute state. I'm there saying that Lukaku's not the sort of player to go in behind. What does he do? Ball in behind. Lukaku spins the defender in behind. One-on-one with the keeper. Slots it past him into the bottom corner. Fabulous finish from Romelu Lukaku. And clearly, I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to Lukaku because that was bang on what I was saying. Wouldn't happen. Really, really good finish from Lukaku, and that is 2-0 Napoli. And there's the goal animation. Oh, goodness me. There you go. And I think that's pretty much the title sewn up. That is the Scudetto all done. It's a long ball over the top, and Lukaku just brilliant. Just bullies Yerry Mina. And he just dances through the Cagliari defence. It's fabulous. That is exactly the sort of centre-forward play that you would associate with prime Lukaku, prime Drogba. He bullied his way through. He used his pace, and then he finished with real aplomb once he got one-on-one with a keeper. So, made me look like an absolute tit there. Oh, good grief. Jake, Lukaku won Serie A with Inter 2 and looked formidable for them. Well, yeah, I mean, I know he did at Inter, but it just feels like at Napoli he's not quite had that same kick. But, yeah, there you go. Daniel, that's why you're Premier League dad and not Serie A dad. I mean, we have watched a lot of Serie A on this channel. We have done. Evidently, I've got it wrong. Let me just, because I'm now just trying to back up what I was saying, right? Because I'm sorry, but this is unacceptable. What is Lukaku on in terms of goal scoring? He's got 24 goals and assists this season. No, 14. I mean, he's got less goals than Ademola Lookman. Less goals than Moise Keane. Even Scott McTominay scored a comparable number of goals to Lukaku. So he's not exactly been prolific. Lukaku getting the better of former Everton teammate Yerry Mina. I don't think he ever played with Yerry Mina, did he? No, he wouldn't have played with Yerry Mina. Yerry Mina came after Lukaku got sold to United. I'm sure he did. Jake, do you have a Serie A team that you support? Probably, if I was going to say I supported anyone, it'd be Fiorentina. And I wouldn't say I support them, but I like Fiorentina. I've always liked Fiorentina. I like Parma as well, but Fiorentina was probably always the one that I watched because I loved Gabriel Batistuta growing up. Just loved watching Fiorentina and Batistuta on Football Italia with James Richardson. That was my prime Channel 4, Football Italia. Loved it. Alvaro Recoba, Gabriel Batistuta, Totti, Del Vecchio, Chiesa. Unbelievable players. Civil movement, he dragged the opponents like a big Godzilla there and scored. Rayner has got sent off in his last ever game. I know, mate. Yeah, we've just been saying it was a clear sending off as well. I've just seen it. It was a definite sending off. Callum Coyle, are you doing the Inter Champions League final? Yes, mate, we are. We are doing. I just want to talk to you guys about something. I've just done my schedule, right? My schedule to the end of the month on Premier League Dad, and like I said, we are scraping the barrel as we're getting to the end of the month. You know, our commitment is to give you a game every single day. Every single day, we do at least one watch along, and the next few days are absolutely fine. I mean, we've got some big games coming up. We've got the playoff final. We've got the German Cup final tomorrow. Then we've got the League One playoff, Charlton against Leyton Orient. Forest against Chelsea on Sunday. We've also got Venezia against Juventus, the final game in Serie A. We've got that one. That's on Sunday night. Then we've got AFC Wimbledon against Walsall, League 2 playoff on Bank Holiday Monday. And then it starts to get a little bit sketch, right? We've got Ross County and Livingston in the SPL playoff, relegation playoff. Then we're doing Jamaica against Trinidad and Tobago in the Unity Cup on the 27th. And on the 29th, we're doing the League 1 playoff, relegation playoff. Stade Reims against FC Metz. And on the 30th, we're doing the King's Cup, the Saudi King's Cup final, Al Ittihad v Al Qadsiya. Now, obviously, on the 28th, we've got Betis against Chelsea, and on the 31st, we've got Inter and PSG. So we've got some big games around them, but in order to stick with our one game a day, we're going to have to start being a little bit creative. So, yeah, we are being a little bit creative, and that's going to mean Al Ittihad against Al Qadsiya in the Saudi Kings Cup final, and Jamaica against Trinidad in the Unity Cup. The Unity Cup. That's being held at the Brentford Stadium as well. Callum Coyle, I'm a Sunderland fan. Nice. Okay, well, yeah, we'll be doing Sunderland and Sheffield United on Saturday or tomorrow, actually, isn't it? That's the early kickoff tomorrow. Is it what's the early kickoff tomorrow? It's 1:30. Yeah, we're going to be live from 1:30 tomorrow for Sheffield v Sunderland. That's a great finish from Lukaku. Really, really good finish, that. Civil movement. Napoli going to be interesting to see in the Champions League next season. I think it's great, isn't it, that Napoli have sold their best two players, Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen, and they've gone and won the league title. And it also just shows as well, all these excuses. Oh my God. There was a Confederate flag then in the Napoli away end. Did you see that? An actual Confederate flag. Yeah, so Napoli have sold Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia and won the title. And Arne Slot was saying that all of the excuses that Arteta has been making, they're just excuses. It doesn't make any sense, he said, because whatever excuses you make, you could also apply to Liverpool. Because he said that we won a league title at Feyenoord, having replaced 14 players left, and he still won the title with Feyenoord ahead of Ajax and PSV. He said he came into Liverpool, we didn't really sign anyone, and we've won the title. I've replaced Jurgen Klopp, one of the greatest ever managers. We've won the title. So all these are just excuses that other teams could give for not winning it. And he's basically had a go at Mikel Arteta. Rubes, Unity Cup is the best cup ever. It's last been played in 2004, the Unity Cup. I think it's Ghana, Nigeria, Trinidad and Jamaica. It's basically the teams in London, or the countries who have large populations in London, and it's called the Unity Cup. Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica and Trinidad, and they all play each other in a little like round robin tournament, and it's called the Unity Cup. So yeah, we're gonna see. Tommy, who's winning? It's 2-0 to Napoli, mate. So they're gonna win the Scudetto. Jake, Kings Cup final has some big names in it. Benzema, Alba, Kante, Fabinho, Diaby. Could be a good game. Yeah, absolutely, Jake. Well, we're going to be watching it anyway. We're going to be live for it. So if you fancy doing a watch-along, I'll probably be the only person in the world doing a live watch-along of Al Ittihad versus Al Qadsiya in the Saudi Kings Cup final. So we'll see. Michael, Kieran, what about the Women's Champions League final tomorrow? Barca v Arsenal. And the Portuguese Cup final on Sunday, Benfica v Sporting Lisbon. Are you covering those matches? No, Michael. I'm not going to be covering those matches purely because the Women's Champions League final lands smack bang in the middle of Sheffield United and Sunderland, and then the German Cup final, Armenia against Stuttgart. That's the German FA Cup final. So there's those two games, and the Women's Cup final kicks off at 5. So I think it'd just be far too tight, especially if Sunderland and Sheffield United goes to extra time and possibly penalties. We'd end up missing it. So there's not enough of a turnover time, basically, for us to do the Women's Cup final, the Women's Champions League final. And then on Sunday, Benfica against Sporting Lisbon kicks off at, is it 5:15? Or it's a 5 o'clock kickoff, and that would mean it would come just in between Nottingham Forest and Chelsea. So it's going to kick off as Nottingham Forest and Chelsea are playing, and that's the big game in the Premier League that day. So yeah, absolutely no way that we can do those two. Sadly, we will of course keep updated on them, but there's no way we can do those two. We've got to prioritise the Championship playoff final, and we've got to do the Premier League, the big final day in the Premier League. Timer, cheers Callum, sorry, you're right. Yeah, we're miles off it. There you go. The scrum down, just in the score. McSauce is the signing of the season. He's done very well. Yeah, he's done unbelievably well, McTominay, since he's come in. That guy, Jack562, McTominay banger today, huh? Yeah, mate, overhead kick. Wait till you see it. Wait till you see it back. It's an absolutely sensational overhead kick. The scrum down live, Ballon d'Or to McSauce. Civil movement, Liverpool's going to win the Premier League next season with Florian Wirtz in the squad. Adding Isak would confirm it even more. I do think Isak will go, especially if Newcastle don't qualify for that Champions League. If they miss out on the Champions League, there's a real chance that they have to sell him. But we're into the last half hour here. I think, if we're dead honest, all chances of Inter winning the league are now done and dusted, because I could see Cagliari scoring 1. Can't see him scoring 2. Not 2. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll come to the attention of the of the Saudi princes when we do the King's Cup. Here's Lukaku in behind here. What a chance this is. Must be 3. Oh, unlucky. Very nearly 3-0 there. Great play by Lukaku. And it was David Neres running in from the right-hand side. Good run from Neres. And a great pass from Lukaku. Laid it off. Lukaku's been bang on it tonight. He's done really well. Playing exactly like the sort of striker that we remember him as. You know, he's channeling his inner Everton Lukaku at the minute. Playing really well. And David Neres, who had a massive future when he was at Ajax, he's come to Napoli. He hasn't quite kicked on in the way that many thought he would. Maybe in the same way as his ex-teammate Anthony as well. But yeah, it's not quite worked out for him. Rubes, Kieran Isak isn't going anywhere next season. As a Brighton fan who lives in Newcastle, he won't be leaving. Civil Movement disagrees, mate. Civil Movement says Isak is going to Liverpool. I mean, I just think it's all going to depend on whether or not Newcastle make Champions League football. If they don't get the Champions League, he ain't going to stay. He ain't going to stay. Why would he stay? Why would he stay if he can get Champions League football elsewhere? He's too good to be playing Europa League football for Newcastle. Come on. Come on. Come on. Right, free kick to Napoli here. It was a foul from Yerry Mina. I think Yerry Mina foul. It's going to be a free kick into the box. Politano's over it. I'm going to have to do my... Oh, it's 2-0 Inter now. When did Inter score the second? When did I miss that? Joaquin Correa scored like 10-15 minutes ago. 2-0 to Inter. So both teams have won 2-0. Here's David Neres. Christ, don't let him score now. Scored. Oh, Lukaku. Oh, it was a great ball, that, from Neres. Lukaku at the back stick. Free header. Really should have scored. He's missed a sitter. Rubes, he's injured and is going for surgery after the season ends. Okay. Well, maybe that's the case. And if it is, then, you know, whatever. Good luck to him. Betis have scored there ahead against Valencia in La Liga. If anyone's keeping tabs on that one. What else have we had going on today? Cercle Bruges beating Patro Eisten in the relegation playoff in the Belgian League. Come on, what else have we had today? Romania, Cluj. Ooh, Cluj won. Star Bucharest won. Right, Napoli are about to kick this long. Free kick. We're into the last 15 minutes of the game here. Sorry, 25 minutes. It'd help if I could add up. Basic maths, Kieran. Come on. Sort yourself out. Good ball forward. Here's Neres. He's got Lukaku in the middle. This should be 3. Ah, it's a really good piece of defending, that. And that should be a corner as well. Civil movement. I don't think Man City will be in the title race next season. It'll be between Arsenal and Liverpool. Why do you think that? Something tells me City are going to do something big in the transfer window. And it might just change the perception of Man City. If they go out and they get someone like Morgan Gibbs-White, for example. They go out and get Morgan Gibbs-White. They get Tijani Reinders. Maybe Jared Branthwaite. A couple of other players. Maybe add another winger as well to the mix. Rodrigo's been linked with City as well. It wouldn't surprise me at all if City went out. They got Rodrigo, Reinders, Gibbs-White, and maybe Branthwaite. Those 4 signings are game changers. I would absolutely put City in the title race next season with that. Absolutely. I'd be really concerned. In fact, I'd put them ahead of Arsenal. Arsenal, if they only sign Zubimendi and Gyökeres, or Zubimendi and Sesko, not worried at all. Couldn't really care less. They'll probably finish 3rd or 4th. They're more likely to drop away from us than they are to catch us by signing those sorts of players. Rubes, we should do a relegation playoff. I don't think plenty of the teams would thank you for that, Christ. Here's Anguissa getting forward. Good play there by Yerry Mina. Civil movement because they lack a creative midfielder like the Kevin De Bruyne. Wirtz ain't going there. He's going to Liverpool. Well, I mean, look, Foden got Player of the Year last year. Now, allegedly, he's had issues off the pitch this year. We don't know anything about that just from what he's told us in recent days, and he's asked to be withdrawn from the England squad. Now, he's not really played all that much for City this season. It feels like he's been on the bench a lot. Now, maybe that's because of Pep Guardiola protecting him and not anything to do with his form, but it's quite clear that the lad's lost a little bit of something. If Foden can get that back next year, then he's an asset, isn't he? He's the perfect replacement from Kevin De Bruyne. He lives, breathes Manchester City. He's come through the academy. We know he can be a very talented player. He's obviously had a difficult season off the pitch for whatever reason, but yeah, I don't think for 1 second that City aren't going to be in the title race. It's going to be very difficult for him to replace De Bruyne, but if Foden gets his head right, then let's be honest, he's the perfect man to replace him. Will Anthony scored for Betis? Anthony's doing so well. He's going to end up at Atletico Madrid. Jake, I've said City signed Branthwaite and Xavi Simons. Xavi Simons, I love him. See, this is the thing. If Liverpool had 150 million to spend, I'd be spending it more on Xavi Simons than and Branthwaite. I'd rather that. If you said to me now, you can have Florian Wirtz or Branthwaite and Xavi Simons, that I know exactly the two that I'd be getting. It wouldn't be Florian Wirtz. Rubes, fourth bottom, facing the loser of the playoff final. Oh, God. Civil movement, Foden is not a creative playmaker, though. Oh, I don't know about that. That's incredibly harsh. Foden's up there with the most creative players there is. He can certainly thread a pass, can't he? He's great in between the lines. And when he's at his best, when he's playing at his absolute best, there's not many better than Phil Foden in that hole behind the striker. That's where he wants to play. I know Pep Guardiola's often forced him out to the left or to the right when he's had De Bruyne, which is fair enough because you're not getting ahead of De Bruyne. But he's a Manchester City lad. He loves the club. He supported the club. There's nobody else that I think they would want in there other than Phil Foden. Civil movement. City are desperate for a ball creator now. They ain't getting Wirtz, so who are they going for? Reinders, he ain't good enough to replace De Bruyne. Reinders isn't a De Bruyne replacement, mate. Reinders is like a Gundogan or even a Rodri replacement. Reinders is that sort of a metronome, the number 6, the sitting in front of the defence, just in case Rodri doesn't come back, or doesn't come back in the way that they might hope he would. But yeah, they'll probably move Gundogan on. To me, I think that's the bigger issue for City. It's not actually the creating of chances. It's legs in midfield. They've been overrun in midfield all season. All season. If they got rid of Gundogan, and they obviously De Bruyne is going, and they don't keep putting Bernardo Silva in the middle, they need to use Bernardo Silva where he's good on the right-hand side. Bernardo Silva and Foden will create your chances, mate. They're too good not to. They're unbelievable players. They need legs in midfield. They need a Morgan Gibbs-White. They could do with a Reinders. Players like those will make City better. Definitely. Which position, if we sign Wirtz, do you think he'll be in? I think he'll be part of the front three. So maybe left, maybe right. Some have even suggested he might be part of a false 9, but I can't see that. I think he's more likely to be left or right. Callum, Liverpool are coming for a double at least. Here's Lukaku, very good play. Unlucky, Cagliari knock it forward. Will, in my player career mode, I was playing for Liverpool but wasn't getting picked and signed for Barca. Nice. Daniel, can you run through the squads to see what stars are in the Saudi final? Of course I can, mate, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do Al Ittihad versus Al Qadsiya. So Al Ittihad, the squads are as follows: Danilo Pereira, who you might remember from PSG, played for Porto as well for a while. You've got Danilo Pereira, you've got N'Golo Kante, you've got Fabinho, you've got Karim Benzema, you've got Houssem Aouar, who you might remember from Lyon, Moussa Diaby, ex-Aston Villa, Steven Bergwijn, of course, ex-Tottenham, ex-Ajax, PSV, and who else? Young Unai Hernandez as well. Unai Hernandez, who played for Barcelona, came through the Barca academy. I don't know if he ever actually played for Barca's first team, but he was like hot property in Barcelona. He's now gone out to Saudi. And in goal, they've got Rajkovic, who played for Mallorca and Reims. He was the goalkeeper, Serbian goalkeeper. And then for Al Qadsiya, you've got Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's probably the star of the team. And alongside him, you've got Cohen Castells in goal, Belgian goalkeeper. Ezequiel Fernandez, young Argentinian midfielder, came from Boca. Nacho Fernandez, who you might remember, obviously, Real Madrid, played for Real Madrid for however many, 12, 13, 14 years. Nahitan Nandez, the Uruguayan midfielder. Gaston Alvarez, Uruguayan defender. Julian Quinones, Iker Almeida, and anyone else that you might know? Cameron Puertas, Swiss midfielder, used to play for Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium. So that's pretty much it. There's not a huge amount of quality surrounding those, I would imagine. But it'll be interesting to watch. It's the biggest game in the Saudi league, in that sense. That's the Saudi Cup, the King's Cup. And Al Ittihad haven't won it for, I think, the best part of 10 years. And I don't think Al Qadsiya have ever won it. Daniel, no Ronaldo, shame. Yeah, no Ronaldo. Ronaldo plays for Al Nassr, doesn't he? With Sadio. Civil movement, I fear Echeverri, though. If they get that guy playing good, we are fucked. Well, there you go, Echeverri as well. Yeah, they've got some young players there as well who can play. You know, McAtee, we've seen play well. Nico O'Reilly kicking on. Here's Lukaku coming off for Simeone. Anthony's TRFC account, Barrow AFC, replied to me. Replied to you about what? Callum Wirtz will be like Coutinho, rotated to CAM wing and possibly the number 8 position. We've definitely missed a Coutinho type, haven't we? We've missed a player who can play in the hole, I guess. Szoboszlai's not that. Szoboszlai's far closer to a Gini Wijnaldum. He's legs, he's energy, he chases players down, he's great at pressing. He can ping one from distance, but I think Szoboszlai is a different type of player to the player we all thought we were getting. But he's arguably just as important, if not more so. I really like Dominic Szoboszlai. Very, very good player. Just criminally underrated, you know. Anthony's TRFC account. See my video. It's a lot to explain. Okay. I'll have a little look, mate. I'll have a little look. Trophies are for big teams only. Calm down, you're not the best team in the world. Neither are United. Oh my God. Tuesday coming, I'm potentially climbing Scafell Pike with my dad. Nice. Very nice. I'd quite like to go and do a bit of hiking. Go and do a bit of yeah, maybe get up Snowdon or something like that. Callum, I don't fear any team now. I can see a Liverpool double. Arsenal always bottles, said Civil Movement. Listen, don't count your chickens yet, is all I would say just yet, lads. There's still a lot of time in this summer. And, you know, we don't know what's happening with Wirtz. We don't know how Wirtz will adapt. There's every chance that Wirtz comes in and it doesn't quite work out. You know, I remember we've signed a lot of players like this who came in and we all thought, wow, he's going to be a game changer for us. And it doesn't always pan out like that. You know, we thought that with Naby Keita, we thought that with Darwin Núñez. Both big signings. Both I don't think were terrible, but weren't the game changers that we've hoped for. So they'll still, you know, Naby Keita won everything with Liverpool. Chances are Darwin Núñez has won pretty much everything bar a Champions League. Dream Chasers boss, remember when we were on the verge of signing Felix? He failed his medical. Or Fekir. Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't Felix. That was Nabil Fekir. Yeah, and he had pictures in his kit and everything. Callum, oh, here we go. Negative Nancy. I'm not being negative. Listen, I'm not negative Nancy. I'm realistic Roy. I'm realistic Roy. I'm pragmatic Pete. I am not negative Nancy. Positive Polly. That's what we should be calling you. Unrealistic. Una? No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. Daniel, with Liverpool signing Wirtz, is there anything City and Arsenal can do to put fear into you? Signing big players. Here's David Neres getting in behind. Chance here. Napoli to finish it off. Could be 3. No, good save. By the way, we've signed players without selling Nunes and Diaz and Jota. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we don't need to sell those players. It just means that the club have signed the players with the expectation that we will sell those potentially. There's no way we sign those and keep Diaz, Nunes, Jota. We'll still sell them. It's not how it works. You can sign those players and still need to sell those after it. Wirtz is a guy who's going to win Germany a World Cup. Callum, realistic, buddy, you said we wouldn't sign Wirtz. Yeah, and I didn't think that was the case. I didn't think that was the case, and now I'm saying, okay, fine, it looks like we are going to sign Wirtz, but I still don't think he's necessarily going to be the be-all and end-all. It's a big, big amount of money. I hope he is. Of course I hope he is. But, 150 million's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And like I said, I'm not being negative Nancy. You guys are being delusional Debbies. You know what I mean? Delusional Debbie. Jake, Will, negative Nancy sounds like a horrid Henry character. Jake, Liverpool win the league when considered the underdog. Got to keep playing down our chances. There's an element of that. But also, I've seen enough times over the years, Liverpool, we've gone into windows and signed big players, and it sometimes just doesn't work out. It's better to have a degree of what if. Let's see. Do you know what I mean? You don't get too excited. Don't start talking big games and all that sort of stuff, because all you do is just setting yourself up for a fall. That's Man United behaviour. That's Arsenal behaviour. That's not Liverpool behaviour. Liverpool fans, we know our football, right? And we say, hang on a minute. Let's just wait and see. Daniel, what do you think of Trent throwing himself a party? I have no problem with that, to be honest. Obviously, the players wanted to say bye to him. That's fine. Yeah, good luck to him. I'm not that bothered anymore. I don't even... It was sad to see him leave because I think he's an excellent player. He's the best right back in the world, in my opinion. But he's a rat, and I don't like the way he's gone about it. So I'm just done with talking about him now. I'm just kind of glad for him to move on. You go and play for Madrid, mate. I hope it's everything you hope it is. And I don't think for 1 second it will be. Rubes, watch out for Brighton. They'll whip you like the government mule you are. Callum, we haven't even finished signing players yet. That's true. But you're counting your chickens, Callum. We haven't yet signed anyone apart from Frimpong. There's only Frimpong that we know for sure looks like it's going to be a sign. Wirtz is nowhere near done yet. Just because the Romanos said it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But even if that does happen, so what? That might be the only 2 players we sign this summer. It's entirely possible. You never know. Callum, timer again. Sorry, Callum. What time are we on? Oh my goodness gracious me. I've had an absolute shocker there. There you go. We're back synced up again. Callum, who's Trent invited? Right. Napoli are now basically just getting on players who haven't got any chance of playing. They're just chucking subs on left, right and centre. Philip Billings now coming on. Talking about ex-Premier League players. Anguissa about to come off. Philip Billing of Bournemouth is about to come on to win a Premier League title. There's a Scott McTominay tifo going round the Maradona. I can't believe it. In what world would we have said this would have happened when Scott McTominay was leaving Man United? He was the most laughed player, the most laughed at player at that club. He was almost like an embodiment of how ridiculed that club was. This player who could do all these things and looked and glided about the pitch in a really lovely way, but actually didn't have a final product. It was always really frustrating to see Scott McTominay because I always thought he had ability. But we've seen him come to Napoli and really turn it on. Really, really done well. Daniel, do you think it's okay Liverpool have been partying in Ibiza and Marbella before the season is over? Yeah, fine. Why not? Why wouldn't it be? can do whatever you want. Listen, how you prepare for games is entirely up to you. Liverpool have won the league. Our season is over. We've had the league wrapped up since whenever, maybe January. Mathematically since like April, but we've had it pretty much wrapped up since January. Arsenal haven't really ever put a glove on us, and yeah, I just think if Liverpool want to finish the season in style and go and party and actually just kind of enjoy the remaining weeks, then that's up to them. Rubes Bissouma to Arsenal was supposed to happen in January, and what happened there? This is it. Rubes, I'm with you. I totally know what you're saying. It feels like this happens all the time. Fans get all excited. Listen, if we have seen Nabil Fekir, as was said the other day, if Nabil Fekir can have his Liverpool shirt on and there's articles written ready for the website for him saying Liverpool can announce the signing of Nabil Fekir from who was it? Lyon we were signing him from. We've announced the signing, right? If that can happen and then the deal doesn't happen, then anything can happen. So the idea that Florian Wirtz is done and dusted to some Liverpool fans is getting ahead of ourselves, I would say that. Daniel, I rated McTominay. He always tried, was played out of position. He was a striker in the academy. Lazy profiling to put a taller player in at centre defensive of midfield. I thought he had a midfielder player in him. I think he does thrive when arriving late in the box. And he would have been perfect for Amorim in one of those two positions just behind the striker, I think. Or even sitting deep. Even sitting deep, but they just could never ever get the best out of him, could they? Civil movement, Wirtz is better than Bellingham, De Bruyne, he is like the German Messi. Liverpool just need a solid centre-forward on top of it. The German Messi. Christ, how many players have we heard of over the years? They're the German Messi. They're the French Messi. Christ, Kendry Paez, who's going to Chelsea, is the Ecuadorian Messi, I'm led to believe. We've got Franco Mastantuono, who's at River Plate at the moment. He's the new Messi. I remember Uriel Ortega was the new Maradona. If you remember Uriel Ortega, just before the 1998 World Cup, he was being professed to be the new Diego Maradona. He was crap. Happens all the time. Every couple of years, there's always a player who comes out as the new Messi, the new Ronaldo, whatever it is. Fabrizio just said, Wirtz has said no to Bayern, the decision was made. Yeah, but that still means there has to be a deal done between Liverpool and Leverkusen. There's every chance that he stays. Every chance that he stays at Leverkusen. It's not, even Ornstein said that. Ornstein said it's not beyond the realms of possibility that he stays at Leverkusen. Daniel, how clear is Luis Diaz of Martinelli? Well, I wouldn't swap the two, and I suspect Arsenal fans would swap Martinelli for Diaz. I mean, how clear, that's maybe a different argument altogether. Diaz has 18 goals and assists this season. Martinelli has... How many does Martinelli have? 12. So Diaz is 50% more effective, and that's just in the Premier League. That's excluding all the goals and assists that Diaz got in the Champions League, the League Cup, the FA Cup. He had a really good run, and Diaz did well in those as well. But just in the league, he's 50% more efficient, more effective in terms of goals and assists. So, yeah, I think Diaz is a far better player. Civil movement, no chance he is staying. He wants to win the Champions League. You never know. Like I say, you never know. You never know. We don't know what the player wants. There's a chance the player might decide to stay at Leverkusen, and maybe he goes to Bayern next year. Maybe if Kompany's not there, maybe he goes to Bayern next year. Allegedly, the story goes, it depends if you believe the rumours doing the rounds by the Bayern Space, I believe it's called. It's said that he has an agreement. Wirtz has an agreement with Liverpool, but his father has an agreement with Bayern, and his father does think that Bayern is the best place for him. Who wins? We don't know. Daniel, do you think Diaz has been Liverpool's second best forward this season? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think Gakpo's been good, but maybe not quite as good in the second half of the season. But Diaz has been exceptional too. So yeah, I would probably say Diaz. Gakpo is, how many goals has Gakpo got? Gakpo's got 13. So even Gakpo's better than Martinelli, and he's kind of our second choice left winger. It's Diaz first, then Gakpo, and even Gakpo's got more than Martinelli. Rubes, Wirtz ain't winning the Champions League with Liverpool. You're very confident for that, Rubes. We've been to 3 Champions League finals in the last 7 years. We've been to a Champions League final every other year. Every other year Liverpool are in a Champions League final. So the idea that we're not going to win it is not a laughable thing whatsoever. We've been one of the best teams in Europe over the last 7-8 years, for sure. And we've probably only been knocked out this year by the eventual winners on penalties, admittedly as well. Jamie, Christian Romero, different gravy, mate. 5 finals won. I think he goes down as top 5 centre-backs in modern history. What? Christian Romero? No. Very good player. Very, very good player. I like Christian Romero, mate, and he might well go down as one of Spurs' best ever centre-backs. Maybe winning the trophy. Maybe he does go down as one of the best ever centre-backs for Spurs. But he isn't in the top 5. He's not even in the top 5 in world football right now. I'm not sure I'd put him in the top 10 in world football right now. But he's a very good centre-back. No doubt about that. Rubes, how many you won? 6. Daniel, no Arsenal player has scored more than 10 league goals this season, the first time in over 100 years. Wow, yeah, that's bad. That is bad. Very bad. Jake, Martinelli's wasted potential. Seems like such a quality player, but never really kicked on. Yeah, I mean, Jurgen Klopp said quite a few times, didn't he, when Martinelli was a couple of years younger, what a player Martinelli is. I would love him at Liverpool. Great footballer, but he just never quite kicked on. As you say. Daniel, if Slot and Amorim swapped jobs last summer, where do you think they would have finished? Assuming you mean Slot at United and not at Sporting. I think Slot at Man United would have finished higher than Ten Hag got them. I think he'd have got more out of them. Again, he's a manager who has had experience getting a lot out of players that he hasn't chosen to work with. He's incredibly good, and he's also incredibly good at conditioning players as well. So I think Liverpool look fitter now than we've ever done before. And I think with Manchester United, they look leggy, they look tired a lot. The instructions, obviously, aren't all that clear. When you ask Arne Slot about his system, he plays multiple systems within games. He's not so rigid and set on this, we must play 3 at the back and whatever, even if they don't have the players to suit it. I think the best thing, or let's say the worst thing that Ruben Amorim has done as a manager is he's been set on a system that he doesn't have the players to fit. So why would you continue playing that system? You've got to... It's like Sean Dyche said. Sean Dyche was talking about it on the overlap, and he said, I can't... he's going to have to win some games. He's going to have to win some games. If he's going to be this pig-headed, this strong-willed about a certain system that he adores, he's going to have to start winning some games. You can't not win games. You're going to lose your job. I'm going to lose my job. Now I'm panicking. Civil movement, congratulations to Napoli, well deserved. Yep, there's tears. There's tears on the pitch. There's tears in the stands. Como and Inter no, they've won 2-0, but the players are on the pitch. They're broken, gutted. They know the game's pretty much done for them. Daniel, I wouldn't put Romero in the top 5 Spurs defenders this century. I mean, I'd certainly say he's up there with your Vertongans and Alderweireld and Sol Campbell. Oh, very nearly. That was rough. from Napoli. Keeper's fine. Yeah, there's some good Spurs centre-backs we've had over the years. I think Van der Ven would probably be up there as well, playing how he's played since he's come in. Civil Movement, Champions League Final 2026, Liverpool v Real Madrid. Isak scores 2 and a Wirtz assist, 2-1. Okay. No skill hour, and if Wirtz goes through, do you see him as a Sobol replacement or on the left player? He's not a Sobol replacement. He isn't going to play in that midfield three. He's going to play either wide right, wide left, or even as a false 9 through the middle. He's definitely not going to play in that midfield three. Be very surprised if he does. He's not Arne Slot's type of player. Mohamed Jabaz, Liverpool will be Premier League champions. Aaron and the players ain't good enough. They're still calling for his head. Jake, the issue with Romero is he's too keen on a rash challenge, lets his side down far too often. Oh, what's going on here? That might be it. Is there a penalty? Is there a red card? No, it's a free kick. Be yourself, Dylan. Yes, Man United. What are they doing letting McTominay go? Well, McTominay's just secured himself a Serie A title, along with another ex-Man United player, Romelu Lukaku. Daniel, I was in Napoli the last time they won the league. It was like the criminals ran riot in Gotham. Hey, Bets! Mr. Ethan. Yo, how's it going, Ethan? Great ball in. Cleared away by Napoli, and that should do it. That should do it now. The ref is about to blow up, and it's going to be... They've won it. They've won it. They've won the Scudetto. The players, the fans, they're all on the pitch. There's fireworks going off. And that is why I can't go games anymore. Look at that. Look at the light show. Look at the light show going on around the Maradona Stadium now. It's absolutely madness. But there you go. They've won it. Scott McTominay collapses to the floor. He has won the Scudetto title. Napoli 2, Cagliari 1. They've secured it. That's fantastic. That is absolutely brilliant for Napoli. Brilliant. Here is a distraction because my... Oh, bloody hell, Ethan. Oh, mate, I'm sorry to hear that. Very sorry to hear that, mate. Listen, yeah, I was going to say, if you're here for the distraction, I don't really know what to say after that, but yeah, bloody awful, mate. Christ, there's chaos outside the stadium there, isn't there, as well? You can see fireworks going on outside the stadium. Rubes, 2-1, did you say? 2-0. Napoli 2, Cagliari 0, it finished. And obviously it finished in Como as well. Como 0 Inter 2. And there is the blue, sky blue ribbons getting tied to the Scudetto Serie A title. That's passion right there. And in England, you can't even have a pint while watching the game. I know. Yeah, it's crazy, innit? It's crazy. McTominay getting hugged by everyone. I mean, they can just say he is literally the hero, isn't he? The engravers are getting to work on it already. Ethan Manama's got better since Wednesday night. Okay, well, hopefully so, mate. I'm rooting for you. I'm sure we're all rooting for her. But yeah, listen, you just do what you need to do, mate. Civil Movement. This is going to take on Inter's confidence. And PSG will win. I think PSG were going to win anyway. Yeah, I think PSG were always likely to win. But yeah, Ethan, seriously, mate, thinking about you and your family and everything. I hope everything's all right. Daniel McTominay for Player of the Season. He might well be, I think he might well be. I mean, looking at the performance charts and stuff in Serie A, after doing a Player of the Season, McTominay would be well up there. Lukaku's done well. Retegui's done well at Atalanta. Moise Kean has done well at Fiorentina. But after that, it's definitely McTominay. McTominay he's the only midfielder that has that sort of a number of goal contributions. You know, he's basically got the same number of goal contributions or similar to the likes of Marcus Thuram at Inter, Orsolini at Bologna, Lukaku here at Napoli, Lookman at Atalanta, Retegui at Atalanta, and Moise Kean at Fiorentina. Right, well, listen, we're getting on for 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna end the live. We're gonna end it tonight because we've been live since. I mean, look at Antonio Conte there. Antonio Conte, what a remontada for him as well. There you go. Daniel, it's funny how Premier League rejects can go abroad and do well, even the British ones. And do you know what, mate? It isn't even just like we say Premier League rejects. But I think a lot of these players are actually talented players that could do well in the Premier League. They just need to be in a different team. I think McTominay is a prime example. If McTominay came back with a team that better suited him, that maybe gave him the opportunity to play a little bit further forward in the right system, with the right manager, supported him, McTominay could be a real success in the Premier League. I still think Lukaku could. Lukaku was never as bad as Chelsea made him look. Look, Chelsea's one of them clubs similar to United. Let's be honest. Chelsea have seen Salah and De Bruyne off. You know, two of the best ever Premier League players. Both looked garbage at Chelsea. So, you know, if we've got to learn anything from that, we've got to learn that sometimes players are a lot better than their environment suggest. And often, players can also equally, on the flip side, players aren't always as good as their environment suggests. And I think Victor Gyökeres is a prime example of that as well. Daniel, not staying for the trophy lift. Yeah, probably should, shouldn't I? Probably should. We've got who are we doing tomorrow? Sheffield United and Sunderland. So we've got Sheffield United and Sunderland live at 1:30 for that one. And then we're doing the DFB Pokal German Cup final, Arminia Bielefeld against Stuttgart. And Arminia could win. That could be a surprise for Arminia as well. Arminia winning the German Cup. It's unlikely anyone ever thought they would get anywhere near winning that as well. Conte, who's that he's hugging there? Is that Raspadori? There's tears all over the pitch. It's great to see. It's fantastic. There's loads of pure emotion in Naples. Daniel, how many goals will Gyökeres score next season? I think there's a very, very good chance that Victor Gyökeres ends up at Manchester United. Which I know is an odd statement, but there's something that tells me that Manchester United are the only club that really, really want him. Like I think Ruben Amorim has made a massive, massive ploy for Victor Gyökeres because he's already worked with him, because he knows how well he can do and he knows what system to play him in and how to get the best out of him. I think internally at Man United he's pushing for him because I think he knows that, do you know what, he could come in and really help us. I think he could really, really help us. And there's also a part of me that thinks there's not many clubs who have made Victor Gyökeres the number one. Do you know what I mean? Like I think Arsenal, there's a disagreement internally, isn't there? Allegedly, Berta, who's just come in, wants Victor Gyökeres and Arteta's not sure. There's a part of me that thinks that Arsenal don't necessarily really want him, or they've not agreed on him. They might end up veering towards Sesko, and they think that Isak's too expensive, so they might end up with Sesko. So I think I think Gyökeres will come to the Premier League. He will come to the Premier League. He could go to Barcelona if they lose Lewandowski. That would be a smart move from Victor Gyökeres' part, because I think if he doesn't, the only offer that, like the serious offers on the table for him from clubs that are prioritising him, I think it will be Man United. Yeah. Ethan, have you seen we have Mr. Football Manager? Oh, Will Still. Yeah. Yeah, I spotted it earlier, mate. Civil movement, Gyökeres is going to flop in the top 5 leagues, especially in the Premier League. Callum Coyle, Aberdeen getting smashed. Daniel, Gyökeres knows better than move to Man U. He moved to Sporting as a stepping stone, knowing a big move would come. Yeah, and look, I'm sure he will do, but it's. I don't think there's too many clubs prioritising him. I think there's a lot of clubs who've said we're just waiting, we're just seeing what happens with other things at the minute, and I think he'll keep hanging on and keep hanging on and hanging on. And maybe he was waiting for a club that would come in and make him, like Haaland, he would be fighting him off with a shitty stick sort of thing. Doesn't feel like that's the case with Gyökeres now. Feels like he's going to have to settle. He's going to have to settle. And unless Barcelona come in with a big offer, I think he might find at the end of the summer that Manchester United are the only ones who've made a big ploy for him. But we shall see. We shall see. Callum Coyle, Celtic, easy win. That this weekend, Scottish Cup final. Right, well, there you go. Right, well, listen. I'm not staying for the trophy lift. I'm not staying for the trophy lift. We've got 2 big games tomorrow night, right? We've got 2 big games tomorrow night. We've got Sheffield United against Sunderland, and we've got Arminia Bielefeld against Stuttgart in the DFB Pokal. So, tomorrow lunchtime, 1:30 p.m. 1:30 p.m. tomorrow will be live. Sunderland against Sheffield United, Championship playoff final. I'll be here. Hopefully you will as well. And then straight after that, we've got the German DFB Pokal Cup final. Arminia against Stuttgart. Stick with me for that one as well. We'll have the Women's Champions League final in between. I don't know if we're going to be live for that. Probably not. Because it might be too much of a switch around. I think if Sheffield United and Sunderland goes to extra time and penalties, we've no chance. It's going to overrun. So we won't be able to do the 2 in between. But if we can catch it and we can keep updated on it, then we totally will. Daniel, Scudetto disrespect, not staying for the trophy lift. I mean, it's not even... Mate, they've not even started building the stage. They'll be out there partying till the morning. Look at them. They're doing laps of the running track. It's the one thing I hate about Italian stadiums, that they've all got running tracks around them. Honestly, the Stadio Olimpico in Rome, that's the most underwhelming stadium I have ever been to. Daniel, let the guy engrave the trophy. It'll only take another 30 minutes. Oh, Rubes, I'll be doing a Mackham hate-along tomorrow. Rubes, is there anyone you don't hate? Apart from me. It just feels like, everyone. Christ, just have a minute. Chill out. David Neres. Callum Cub, take your shirt off for a sub. You are joking me. You've confused me with the only place. It's not me. Daniel, it's one of those stadiums you go for the atmosphere first and the football second. Christ, we had coins raining down on us. We had beer. No, it weren't beer bottles. They were like plastic beer cups, but I'm pretty sure they weren't full with beer. I think they'd been letting themselves go in it before and then launching it over the barrier. There's like a plastic perspex barrier in between us and the Roma fans. And there was just coins and all sorts raining down on us. It was horrible. And then Yeah, it was a proper horrible, intimidating atmosphere. But yeah, that was one of the most disappointing parts of going to watch Rome. Rome, the city, I didn't like. I thought it was an absolute dive. It was like Highton. Yeah, I thought it was a dive. And then the Stadio Olimpico as a city, as a stadium was, rough as well. Rubes, I dislike everyone equally. Well, at least you're not prejudiced. Lukaku and McTominay with the goals tonight. We're just watching them back. McTominay's first goal was something else. I tell you that. Unbelievable goal from Scott McTominay. Cracking player. Absolutely cracking player. And Lukaku, prime Drogba. Just bullying his way through. Great finish. If you've not seen these goals tonight, wait till you see them. Callum Coyle, I'll smash your nose open. Callum, why so aggressive, mate? Why so aggressive? If you had a bevy tonight, you or something, calm down. We're all friends on here. Don't be smashing anyone's noses open. We don't do that on here. All friends. Apart from Rubes, who dislikes everyone. But other than that, we're all friends. We're staying for the trophy lift. I mean, look, it looks like Gotham outside the Maradona Stadium. There's just red lights, flares, fire, flashing blue lights. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. Civil movement. All right, tomorrow. Let's watch Real Madrid Sociedad. Mbappe has to score 1 goal to win the Golden Boot. I don't think we can go and watch Real Madrid Sociedad. What time's it on? What time's Real Madrid Sociedad on tomorrow? Real Madrid Sociedad is on at 3:15. Mate, it kicks off 15 minutes after the Championship playoff final. You've no chance. You've no chance. Callum Coyle, shut up, you scars bastard. I'm not Scouse. I am not Scouse. Rubes, Liverpool equals scum. No, I'm not having that. Not having that. Liverpool, Scousers and Liverpudlians are salt of the earth. Salt of the earth. Daniel just saw the McTominay goal. He may be world class. Unbelievable. Top quality goal. Really top quality. You can't imagine how much did United actually get for him in the end? How much did they get for him? Man United sell McTominay. What if it was less than 50 million? 30 million euros. So not even 30 million quid. That is laughable. What's 30 million euros? Impact 25 million quid. They sold him for 25 million quid. And how old is he? How old is he? He's like 28. He's peak, isn't he? He's 28. He's 28 years old. Oh, do you know what? Honestly, 28 years old. 28. They sold peak McTominay for 25 million quid. That's laughable. Everton paid more for Beto than they did. Daniel Lukaku throwing it back to his West Brom days. Rubes, he's a Wool, not a Scouser. Callum, why are you being nasty, mate? Why are you being so nasty? Come on, mate, don't be like that. All friends. Nadeem, you was right about Tottenham. I always am. That's not true, Nadeem. I'm very rarely right. But I was right about Tottenham. Here's Scott McTominay. There you go. He's just been given the MVP of Serie A, team of the season. Look at that. Look at that. They've given him a 96 player card, FIFA player card, and he's been given the MVP of Serie A this season. Oh, United are in the mud. They are in the mud. They're absolutely in the mud. Now we're watching a highlights reel of Scott McTominay's goals and assists for the season. They've sold McSauce and he's gone on and won a league title. What a top quality player. Right, listen. They're all going in and getting changed or whatever, and then they're coming back out and doing the trophy lift. I don't think it's happening for a while yet. So the trophy lift is going. Right, I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow night. No, Tomorrow lunchtime. 1:30 tomorrow I'm back. 1:30 tomorrow I'm back for Sunderland against Sheffield United in the Championship playoff final. Civil movement, Mo Salah got a small chance to win the Golden Boot if he scores a brace in his last game. Like I said, I don't think he'll be that bothered about that, to be honest, mate. He might do, but I don't think he'll be that bothered. He'll be more focused on the fact that he only needs a goal or an assist to break the Premier League all-time record. Daniel, I saw the former Man U negotiator who left last year on a podcast saying like he did something impressive. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the worst. One of the worst jobs going. Nadeem, which past Man U player would make a good manager for Man U? Roy Keane, probably. Yeah, Roy Keane. Right now, they need to kick up the backside, don't they? So Roy Keane probably would be one of the best. Right, I'm going. That's me done for the night. I will be back tomorrow for the Championship playoff final. Sheffield United against Sunderland. 3:01 p.m. kick-off, that one. But I'll be live at 1:30. We'll do an hour and a half build-up where we talk about everything. Maybe by that point, there's been more rumours, more news coming with the whole Florian Wirtz deal and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see what's going on with all that. But yeah, stick with me. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you haven't already, get over to YouTube. Go and check us out on YouTube. Premier League Dad. And I will see you all tomorrow.